Like, was that a countdown to start?
Yeah, and we're back at it again.
After a few months, here we are, Jarkey Bacon, to talk about Cowboy Bebop, the second half. Now,
Yes.
even last time, we were speculating whether or not we were going to do everything in one video, or we're going to split the movie into a separate video, and here we are doing it all in one video. How exciting!
Yeah, we're crazy. We're out here. We're ready.
We're crazy with it.
I need a cough and I'm about to die. Because Carl.
That's what Cowboy Bebop does. Oh, it's a movie thing. You got the disease.
Yes.
You got a blood, bone marrow, something or another.
Yes, my bone marrow is blooded up.
But he made out with me, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was
exactly.
pretty cool. We're not talking about that yet, Jarkey Bacon.
No.
Now, last time, Bacon, we had a big, long section at the beginning, all about overall thoughts.
Yeah.
And we haven't discussed the structure too much going into this, but it's fine. We will go episode by episode, and then the movie will play somewhere. It's very contentious between the two of us, but we'll get there when we get there.
Indeed.
How much have your overall thoughts changed very much? I know we were both on exactly the same wavelength here. I think we both said it's still a 9 out of 10. It was a 9 out of 10 before we started the rewatch. Everything was cool. Vibes were good, I believe we said. Voice acting was pretty good. Music was the best. All those things.
Yeah. Same. I'm on the same boat here. It was really good.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
I agree.
Carl,
I
think there's something that you need to say. That you normally say. Every time something happens.
Oh. Hey everybody. Bike is fucking dead.
There you go. I was waiting.
Fucking tragic, Jarkey Bacon. Or is he? Isn't it weird how there are people that somehow think he's alive? Like, I understand in certain other shows where it's a little ambiguous being on either side, but for this one, it's pretty cut and dry. There's a prophecy and the star falls out of the sky, and the Native American guy he warned us about. He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't,
there's no wiggle room.
Okay, if they wanted to, they could probably bring him back somehow. I'll be honest. I've seen Spike come back from birth, but it's made pretty clear narratively that like this is the kind of point like he is meant to be dead. Like, yeah, there's no way he's coming back. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
He couldn't get over his past. How sad.
How sad.
But we can't discuss that for a long time yet.
Yeah, I reckon let's just go episode by episode. Honestly, like apart from that, I don't have any like crucial thoughts. I've not even made notes. I watched it all with my flatmate again, mostly. So, it was just great time watching it. So, yeah.
Did they enjoy the, 2-month break?
Yeah, I mean, he watches a load of stuff. He's seen it before. So, he actually watched the movie before me as well. So, like, he wasn't like...
True, we didn't say that, but this is both of our first time watching the movie, which is interesting. And we both watched it today.
Yeah.
So, that's great. Bacon was sprinting to watch the last 4 episodes today, so he's Cowboy Bebop out.
Yeah, to preamble even more, I was trying to basically organize to watch the movie with my mate this whole week. Unfortunately, it didn't work because I was like, I watched the first, I want to say like, I watched the first scene and then the title sequence. And I was like, dude, this is like so well done. Like, I think I could sell him on the appeal of Cowboy Bebop. And like, he's kind of like, he's always been interested.
This is a different guy.
This is a different guy. This is one of my mates on the podcast, and he's always been to like particular types of anime. So he watched Evangelion, liked Evangelion quite a bit, even though he thinks some of it's pretty weird. But like he likes Evangelion, stuff like Odd Taxi. He's watched but he's also watched like he's the one who actually probably got me into anime as well, like with Brotherhood and One Punch Man. But like he doesn't watch as much anymore because certain tropes.
He doesn't watch any of that weeaboo trash.
Well, it just annoys him, I think. But I was just like, you know what, Cowboy Bebop, I've been telling you for a long time. He likes Samurai Champloo, so other Watanabe stuff. And I'm like, come on. And I was like, this is a good way to be like, hey, we want to watch movies together. Let's watch this one. And I haven't seen this one yet. And by just like the first scene, I was like, so this will be good. So if I was correct, I mean, I'll let you know.
Yes, we're not saying nothing yet.
But yeah, so that's why it took me so long. But yeah.
I was just being lazy, I think I watched like the first 5 episodes or something pretty quickly after we finished the last recording session.
Yeah.
Then there was a big break because Bacon said, I'm not doing anything until Vinland Saga ends. And then I got back on it eventually. And then I I left the movie until I watched like half of it last night and then half of it today. I pulled an Elite RE where I watch my movies in segments. So you can pass judgment on me for that, perhaps. But
Yeah,
we'll get to them all
well,
when we get to them
I
all.
mean, yeah, yeah. So, I didn't even get to make all the videos I wanted to on Vinland Saga. I didn't even get a video out before Vinland Saga ended, so it didn't even work out that well. But yeah,
But
things get ahead of you,
but
you know. I think I might. When did we release the first session? The first recording?
I think it was a few months ago. Hold on, I still have it
I
open on
need
my
the
phone.
exact
So let
date.
me
I need
just
the
log
exact
in.
date. Just to waste
Give me
more
this
time.
little thingy. 3 months ago, it says April 28th.
Okay, so Carl, I have I got a girlfriend and broke up with that girlfriend in that time between these two videos. So that's why
Bacon
another
did
reason
leak this
why
to me, yes.
I know. So
I don't know any of the details, but that's just gonna make Cowboy Bebop just that little bit better.
yeah, exactly. How did you know
We
this? How I can't remember if I told you. I feel like I must have.
You briefly told me and Ari like right before you hung up one time.
Oh, nice, banging. There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
you
don't know
know
any of the
exactly. So
details.
now I'm a changed man. You know, like I totally get why Spike. You know, might
You
have
need to
done
go
some of the
back and
things he
watch the
did.
Elb episode.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly. Exactly. So much makes sense.
And you gotta throw the watch in the lake at the end and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
Jet. Don't be hung up forever like that no good Spike.
Yeah.
But this is true.
Exactly.
A similar thing happened to me because I think I alluded to this a little bit last time, but I said like, oh, I watched Cowboy Bebop like and then didn't really like it. And then I like 3 days later I rewatched the whole thing with a reaction channel, no less.
Oh yeah, you
And
did mention
and
this. Yeah.
liked it. But there was something that happened in between, and it was that the girl I was like crazy in love with in high school got a boyfriend. And I was so sad about it, Jarkey Bacon. So
Oh.
I powered through Cowboy Bebop with that heartbreak in mind, and I just said, what a poetic piece. What a deeply entrenched
Amazing. That's incredible.
emotion. Sometimes you just want to be sad, Jarkey Bacon, and you just
Yeah.
gotta let it all out. But that was like 3 girls ago now. I'm sad about plenty of other ones, Jarkey Bacon. My goodness. We got 3
Crazy.
Julias on the brain.
Well, I'm not sad about this one. Let's just say that.
Oh, Jarkey Bacon's throwing punches here. This is crazy.
No. But I'm just a Giga Chag Sigma male that don't need no woman, and I'm focused on my YouTube career, definitely.
You I guess you're a bit like Vincent like that. You don't even notice this girl. You might even shoot her if you see her. My goodness, Jarkey Bacon, what a violent young man.
What a
When you
thought.
die, Bacon, you will remember her a little bit at the end.
Yeah. Exactly.
Poetic.
No. So poetic.
But we'll get to all that because are we jumping into the episode? Because our first
Yes.
episode has nothing to do with love.
Oh.
So basically what we did last time is we kind of went episode by episode, and then we gave them a bit of a ranking. I believe we had 3 tiers, which was like S, A, and B, and I think the only one in B, if I remember correctly, was the Hard Luck Woman is one of these ones.
The
Heavy Metal Queen.
The Heavy Metal Queen.
That's the one, I think.
S-A-B. Okay, cool. Do we want to continue with this? Because I've lost the file. So if anybody.
Yeah, we did lose the file, I guess. So we don't know our exact rankings back then, but we can continue. We'll just basically, if you really care that much, you can go back and listen to the first part, and like I'm sure in the transcript you could find it, and we could control it if we really wanted to, but we may as well keep it going now.
Exactly.
Because we can probably guess where most of them landed.
But like I feel like we argued over how many tiers because there's like
we did. I just got
every
to that
Cowboy
part.
Bebop goes into A tier unless it's like really good. Like,
really
I
good.
think we agreed that like the fridge one was really good, or just the mare one, which was like heavy metal queen.
Yeah.
So I might have pushed for an extra tier, but anyway, let's just.
I think you definitely did at the beginning. I remember we had one disagreement, and I think it was over episode 6, right? Because you didn't like that one as much, and I thought it was an ST one.
I thought it was just an A. I think I remember disliking it a lot the first time because that's why I first dropped.
That's why you dropped it.
But that's the one actually though, because on the second time watching it, it was interesting because after episode 5, but then this one had like the fake bang at the end and all the extra like alluding to.
Do you understand?
26, yeah. So like I got it more the second time.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So. And also, Carl, I'm not sure if we elaborated last time, but I actually think Cowboy Bebop, I was watching it the first time when I first messaged you. when I first found you.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We speculated that perhaps in our first Patreon messages, we might have had a brief conversation about Cowboy Bebop. Because a question I used to ask all the patrons when they signed up was, what would you like me to make videos about? Now, I never listened to any of them, but it was basically just a survey of like what they had seen. It's like, do you like Berserk, Attack on Titan, and Vinland Saga? Or do you just like one of them? Or do you like, have you seen all of them? And it's like, oh, because those are the things I used to make videos on. But
Something crazy is
now
I've just checked the
on
Patreon just now, and I've only got a message from you from 3 years ago for your Discord that's dead. So like, I don't know what happened to our old DMs. They must have just kicked.
They definitely exist. We've also got old ones on Twitter a little bit, I think, but
yeah. So
I definitely remember them being there because that's where I found out that you also made videos.
I've put hearts on everything. On the April 1st, 2020, I put a heart on that. So, it was during pandemic. Yeah, 2020, Feb 2020. So, it's crazy. It's been 4 years. I was thinking about this with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like,
that's last 5 years, by the way.
5 years, sorry. Yeah, I last watched it in 2019. And I'm just like, and so we're going to go to Steins Gate as well. So, these are some old bangers for us.
Even yes. God, I first watched Steins Gate in 2014. My goodness gracious me. 11 years. Oh my God. 11 years ago. That's insane. 11 years ago, I was supposed to be watching Yu-Gi-Oh! In my head. I'm watching like Pokemon eating cereal or whatever, not Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But let's move on from our Steins Gate hype back into our Cowboy Bebop sludge as we wade through here.
And I will say, we were kind of murking off, like, we're like, oh, we'd rather do Steins Gate. We've been more interested in Steins Gate. But you know what?
Yeah, we said this last time.
This cast of characters, oh, it's so good. Like, it is insane, like, actually how well they work, I feel. Like, and they feel really quite unique and original.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll probably get on to that at certain points. Let's just get on. So we're going to Bohemian Rhapsody. And this is the chess
Indeed.
one.
You get that reference? Haha. That's a song, Bacon. Ever heard of that song?
Yes, I have heard that song. I probably did get why it was called that in the episode. It's probably not that hard, but I was a bit confused by it.
Wait, I bet I got it, but I forgot Bacon. So what is it?
Yeah, no, same. I think I forgot it.
No. So. Okay. Yeah. So I only have 3 notes for this one. So basically, for everybody to get caught up, this is the chess one with Grandmaster Hex and Ed are playing like chess, and there's a bunch of like attacks on gates happening, and everybody's trying to figure out like who the guy is, and there's a big bounty on whoever this guy is. And then it turns out at the end, it's sort of this guy that has begun to lose his mind, who like 50 years ago helped create the gate system. The gate system in Cowboy Bebop is how they space travel really fast
between places in the solar system.
Yeah. And like 50 years ago, he knew that they were a little bit faulty and they had like back end problems, but nobody wanted to listen to him. So he got like fired and he ran off. And like 50 years later, he set up this ploy that in 50 years we will get him back. But he had lost his mind before he could enjoy it. And he's just kind of this funny old chess master. And him and Ed start playing chess. And then he dies at the end. How sad.
Yeah. But it was so fun. And I think this is probably the best place to put it, where like I think relative enjoyment of characters, like between my first time watching, my second time watching, I probably mentioned this last time, but I love Ed now. Ed is such
this is a big thing we talked
character, about. And like the voice acting is so well done, and like just
her
dialogue writing is so like wacky, and so gimmicky. But like so charming, and I don't like it. It just works. It's like if someone told me
so unique
on paper that I don't be like, this is like the most cringe anime thing, and this is the thing why I also don't believe like that one scene from like live action, which I've not seen, but everybody's like, oh my word, Ed's so cringe. And I'm just like,
it
maybe it was cringe, but you didn't see in action. Like Ed's cringe the first time you meet them. You know, like this is like your natural reaction to things. You have to get used to it. It's like watching a dub for the first time. Sometimes it takes time to settle into it and get used to it. So I just think it's really easy just to, Ed is like such an icon. And consistently like so much fun. Yeah.
It's funny because you said that exact same thing last time about how it's just like dubs and you have to get used to them. So that's funny that you
I'm
said that again.
consistent with that.
Also, first of all, Ed wasn't cringe when I first met Ed. You know, I always loved Ed, so take that.
Based.
But also, oh fuck, there was something else in there that referenced something we had said last time too, but I forgot what was the third thing. It is interesting because Ed is only introduced like 4 episodes before this or something. So this is like one of the first times and Ed isn't in Jupiter Jazz really at all. It's kind of like a gag at the end where she's like, "What was everybody doing? I wasn't here." So this is one of the first times where they're all around and they're all interacting. We're past introductions and we're actually in the meaty phase, I suppose, of them all hanging out, and it is great. I remember, this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but there is like a string of episodes from like 20 to 23 that I always remembered being a little boring. And I remember like not having the biggest motivation to watch them again, but I would always motivate myself by being like, well, in the first 5 minutes, they're just going to be hanging out on the ship, and that's always going to be really cool. And so that's how I would watch it. I'd be like, oh, and it is great. And then you'd get swept along with the plot, and you'd be like, oh, this isn't bad at all.
Yeah. I think there's another thing that like got me was like how fast these episodes whiz by. I know they're only 20 minutes, but I think the fact that it's episodic, like the pace was so good. And I mean, we'll get onto this with the movie as well, because like the movie is like an episode stretched over 2 hours instead of 20 minutes. So it's interesting to like go to this and just be like watching it and be like, hey, do you just want to watch more? Like, yeah, sure. And then often you're like I remember, I guess before this, I've recently kind of binge watched, what was it, the Reacher or whatever, this Amazon Prime. Basically, it's like a power fantasy for boomer American dads. It's like, imagine Giga Chad, Sherlock Holmes, or something like that, right? So, but it was like a season of 8 episodes, and then they're like 40 minutes to an hour, and it's just like, oh wow, like you're getting through it, and then I'm like, man, I'm binging this so hard, and then you look out the window, and it's like, man, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning. I started this at 7. What have I done with my life? All this stuff. So it's anyway, it's just,
it doesn't drag.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of these things where it's just like go, and it really suits this like anime like TV formula. Like works really well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much you had to say. Oh, like this episode, I just found the chess fun. And I think them all going. I remember this one actually also being a bit boring. I don't know. I think I got this confused with the TV episode a lot. Like in my mind when rewatching it,
like the Faye episode.
No, the TV when like the spiritual cult leader. And they all have to go to this other ship. Like, and it's like you have Spike and Jet going down like the elevator shaft, and they almost get crushed by an elevator, I think, or something.
The elevator shaft is the Faye. The Faye
that is it. Yeah, sorry, but I'm getting them all confused in my mind. But this one, they have to go back, and then like they have the.
They go to like a ship where the guy is, and it's like a whole community. That's like the coolest part of the episode.
Yeah, like they're all hotboxing.
Yeah, basically of like a bunch of hippies, and there's also like dogs and stuff, and it's like it's like got a cool design. I thought all that stuff was cool.
And then aren't the old guys there as well?
They are, somehow.
I thought it was funny because I just didn't recognize it the first time I watched it that they were everywhere. They appeared.
Yeah, we said this last time. I think we were like, oh, they only show up like one more time. I think like in the end or something, but that's definitely not true.
No, they're all over this place. Yeah,
they're even in the movie. My goodness.
Yes.
But yes, that is the standout of the episode. This is the thing I remember the most, is sort of the cool design of the place, like the scrapyard out in space, where like, because the galaxy is a wide place, Jarkey Bacon, don't know if you knew. So like you could hide anywhere from the police out there in space, especially if it looks like a scrapyard. It's like a cool little idea. It's a cool little like slum. It's weird. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that is maybe the biggest overall point or like takeaway that I had that I didn't have beforehand coming out of this, was that if somebody had told me beforehand that like the world of Cowboy Bebop was interesting, I feel like I would have said, no, it's not. It's just about like the characters and stuff. But I think the world is more like cohesive and almost like it's more like a narrativized than the actual show. Like there is like continuous like things and the way the world builds up. I think we talked about this in the first part where it was like the build up to like explaining or revealing that there are no aliens is sort of like a thing that the show sort of plays with that you're supposed to have in the back of your mind. And then in one of the episodes, they're like laughing at a TV guy for pretending that aliens. I think it's the Ed introduction episode actually. It's like, oh, there aren't aliens, duh. And it's like just these little details and like what happened to Earth, and obviously that's like tied into Faye's backstory, and we don't actually find out really until it's implied in Faye's backstory. So all the that was a big thing where I was like, oh, there's like a world, and it feels like it like follows a structure almost. Plus there's all these like little interesting places, which is another big thing in Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, there's all these interesting places, and I think it doesn't ever push on you. They'll say where they're going, like Mars. I didn't even clock that Mars was like basically the main place that all these places take.
Yeah,
like place,
especially towards the end of these episodes, they're always on the planet. I assume it is just Mars, where there's and I think it's the same place the movie is set in too, where it's like there's the water and then the city.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the same place as where the first episode took place as well. And
yeah,
I've never really.
Oh no, I don't think that's true.
I think that
one
is
Tijuana, right?
I thought that was on Mars as well.
Oh no, because they want to go to Mars. The girl wants to go to Mars.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
And then Spike says, "Well, actually, I was born on Mars." So.
Yeah. Okay, because I got confused because the guys were the old men, the trio. They were sitting on like a very similar place.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
they are
in the first episode, as in the movie, I think, or maybe the last episode.
That is true. That is definitely true.
So it's I got a bit confused, but like. I think what I love about it is it doesn't blast you in the face with like, hey, this is how the world works. It's like it's in the background. Here's a lot of cool stuff you can place together. There's consistency to it, but there isn't necessarily logic to it, right? Like for example, it's like here's what's our current, like for example, their phones they use. I didn't even clock this until like later on, but like when they talk into the phones that they have, they're like big chunky phones, unlike they have screens on them and like tactile buttons or whatever. It's like what someone thought we'd have in the future, you know? And then they look, and
like they all still have CTR TVs and stuff.
Yeah. And then when he's looking, when like Jet's talking to this like thing, he's not actually looking to the screen or like there's no obvious camera where it is, but when he appears on someone else's screen, it's it's not logical, but it gives this like really unique sensation. Like in the movie when they're watching the Western movie, and they're in like basically this drive-in theater, which normally is in like a field. Here's like stacks of cars on top of each other, and
like a parking lot,
and in a parking lot or something. And in my brain, I was like, this is like so like uneconomical. No one would do this, but it doesn't really matter. Like I'm not here for like
I think that
I'm not for
to
purely logical world building. It's more like this is a really creative idea and someone did it, you know. So. I thought it was just cool.
It's almost like because it all has this like almost dystopian like feel to it throughout, and so it's like just in the middle of the city somewhere. There's like a parking lot and a theater thing. It's kind of the case with a bunch of little things. I think that sort of changes a bit in the movie, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, this is interesting. But yeah, as you say, this like one of the best parts was like. This kind of overall space junkyard, like, and I think it just also doesn't take itself very seriously. Another weird thing about it, I'm just watching again, like I'm going to scroll through it because I didn't make notes. But what was kind of cool was seeing like Spike and Faye not in their original outfits because they're in like these space suits at a certain point.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of really, it's just neat stuff. I think. It's just so well filled out, in my opinion, and it is crazy.
It feels like the little corners of the world. My goodness, look at how they're fleshed out weirdly well, and you can get like, oh, somebody like lives here, and it feels like lived in and stuff. It's kind of like the trucks in the Heavy Metal Queen episode where they're all very unique-ized, or there's a word in there. I do have 3 notes on this one. It says, one of the homeless guys living in the scrapyard was reading Playgirl, which is the Playboy equivalent. It was a gay magazine.
Oh, really?
Funny. There are a bunch of little details like that. Like, I remember pointing this out to you last time. I don't remember it, actually. I just re-listened to it. That's why I remember it. But, like, the shaman that in, like, the beginning of episode 1 has, like, a PS1 in his room. It's just, like, right near the door. It's like, well, this doesn't fit, but it's funny. But yeah, so there's a bunch of little details like that in the background. Like in the movie, there's a Coca-Cola sign for some reason.
Yeah.
But okay. There was also a not McDonald's, but it had a W.
McDonald's.
Yes, that's how you'd say it. And
Yeah.
we're going to continue this theming when we get to Steins Gate and Goodle.
Don't they have Dr. Pepper as well?
Yes, I think that's not changed, right?
I can't remember.
Crazy.
Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I think what is like someone is like, I don't know how like their heuristic for coming up with this, because it doesn't feel like there's a grand plan really. Maybe there was a lot of world building that went in beforehand, but it doesn't feel like there was a grand plan. But for like there was just a lot of creativity and people were having fun and they didn't take it too seriously, but they're like, this is a cool idea. And then somehow it does come together because they don't over elaborate on it into like a cohesive world. And I think that's the key thing, maybe. Like so much of the time, like I feel like if you let the audience fill in the gaps for you, then as long as like it allows you to make less you're less likely to cross your wires and cause contradictions, basically, if you give them less information. To be like, huh, you said this here and this thing here. Doesn't that not make sense? You know, you're like, not necessarily. Like we're chilling still, you know. So like we're just giving you little bits and bobs. So yeah.
There's I think a general point and kind of an overall point, especially when you get to the end, and it's like the crew of the Bebop being together is like a very short period of time in these people's lives. And this is kind of at contradiction with sort of like episodic storytelling in general, because usually in episodic stories, it's sort of like, this is how their lives have always been and will always be. And that's like, and that sort of rhymes in with the formula where it's like, here we are today to do another mystery in this great detective show, and we're always going to be detectives, and we always have been detectives. And next week there'll be a new crime to solve. Isn't it great? Maybe a character will die or something, but nothing too big, and it'll all sort of keep the status quo. Whereas in the end, it ends up being like, before the show, they weren't the crew. Like Spike and Jet had just gotten together, but Faye and Ed weren't there. And then afterwards, obviously Spike is dead and Ed has gone off, and who knows if Faye and Jet stay together. So it feels like it's like maybe a year in these people's lives. And I feel like each one of these little segments of the episodes is like a moment in time in this little story in this little corner of the world or in the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not one world.
Yeah.
It's like these little snapshots where you don't get all the details ever. Which you kind of don't with any of our characters, or like there's no beginning, middle, and end. It's just sort of this period right now. We get to see it, which is kind of what life is like, right? You go around, and even if you go on vacation, like you see this part of the world for this second, and it's like, oh, you were here in that moment, and then you move on to a different moment in a different place. And it's not like it's not a movie
without you. Like the place you live,
it does, yeah.
Like you can live somewhere for 10 years, and like be an integral part of that place and get involved, but as soon as you move out and you stop investing in that place moves on. I think even on the internet, like to some extent, let me say I feel like 2023 I was so integrated in the Vinland Saga community or whatever, right? And then like basically maybe like I think this year, like in 2025, I've just not been as like into it. Not just because I've like been really busy with work, or you know what it was, it's getting a job, you know, as you said, like it's coming out of uni, and then you're just like less online and can't spend all the time, and then you come back and you're like, hang on, I should have a bit of legacy here. People should like respect me, or like people should know who I am or whatever, right? And then people are just like, who's this guy? Not all the time, but it can feel like that. You're just like, oh wow, like yeah, people just move on, like, and this is so true in real life. Like a city will just move on, life will move on.
I think now you'll like this one, because if I bring this up to Elite RE, his eyes would roll over. But this is like a massive thing in sport where it's like a player will be the greatest player in the world for like 3 years, and then like 5 years later they're still playing, and a bunch of young people have showed up, and it's like a bunch of like, and sport, especially club sport, is like very, like the fans are rotational, where most of the time, most people will be fans for like 2 years really on, then they'll like stop watching for a year, and then they'll watch peripherally for 2 years, and then for the next 2 years after that, they'll be really back into it again. It's sort of this cycle throughout your life of like, depending on what you've got going on, whether or not you have enough time to be really invested in sport, etc. So like, it feels like a lot of the times, like a bunch of new fans have come in and have started paying attention. And it's like, well, they don't know that this guy over here used to be the best player in the world, and he just like got stepped by like a young fella on the scene, and it very much feels like a like in your head, because I watch it pretty consistently all the time because I'm very into it. It's like in my head, he's still like that great player, but like it's very clear that other people don't feel that, and it's very much like time has moved on. Like for that segment, when he won that grand final that day, he felt like he was like this could never get any better, and he would always be like this, and everybody in the world knew his name. But then like 4 years later, it's like that moment has gone. Everybody has moved on, and it's like the time passing affects everything really.
Yeah. And this is a bit of a tangent, but like I think with sports as well, like I feel it's very different between people who watch something like and watch the whole game, and then somebody who watches the highlights. There's such a massive gulf.
Or they only watch like the World Cup final. They don't like
not even that, just the highlights. Say if I was really sad. Like I missed. Because there's so like say we both like various forms of rugby, like we watch that, and at least in rugby it's not like a game like cricket where you can kind of have in the background, or tennis or golf.
Yeah,
you got in the back, like no, I'm sitting down, I have to watch the whole thing. There's so many small things, because on the stat sheet what that player did you don't know. You just have to observe and see what that like one person out of the 30 players on the pitch is doing, and be like, oh my word, he's making such an impact. Like that's insane what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's not even always material.
Like, no, exactly.
Applying pressure or whatever.
It's the tiny thing,
which isn't on a stat sheet.
Yeah, and it's not going to appear on the highlights, that's for sure. Like of someone scoring the try, because they never showed the build up, and you're just like, oh my word, this person was playing so good because he made like a 10-yard break, a 5-yard break, just to get a few meters, which then propelled the momentum over. Like he was just consistent in that like small yardage or something like that, right? And I think this is super. Like I've been on the other side with that, where like this year I kind of got into the NBA a little bit, and I just watched the highlights because I could never watch the games actually like as they're playing, because I don't think
basketball is fucking boring. Am I right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've only watched one full game, and I stayed up for the NBA final game 7, and you know, I still found it really fun until they blasted everything with ads, and I was like, oh, yes, this is American sport for you. But yeah, I mean, it was just really interesting because I feel like there's so many, like it's really easy to get sucked up into like this is what the player is or that, and to kind of bring this back to your time thing, it is very much like I will be on Reddit, and like the rugby union Reddit is like full of old people. Like the main meme today was like a Simpsons meme of like, I'm not sure if you heard this, but like Australia like did beat the world #1 South Africa like quite massively.
I did see like 22 or something. I remember seeing
they were down 22 points in the first half, in the first 20 minutes, and it was like, oh no, like because basically recently like the best, like the line, what's called the Lions, which is like basically all of Great Britain, so Wales, Scotland, England, and Ireland. They send their best players on a tour, basically, and you're like, can the Avengers of this like island, like the best players, theoretically they should be the best team in the world because they got such good players, but they've only had 10 weeks to get to know each other and train. So can they put together a really good squad or not? And that's kind of the thing, and they go play. And Australia played phenomenally well, right? But everybody was like, is that just because the lines are bad? We don't know how good the lines are, right? And so Australia then went down 22-0, and I didn't watch the whole game, but you're just like, oh my word. I was watching the highlights, the 8-minute highlights. I'm like, oh my word, this is an absolute like classic South Africa, the best team in the world. They won the World Cup last 2 times, and then I'm like watching the highlights, and Australia just keeps on scoring, and basically it was an incredible result. But anyway, it's one of those things where like, the rugby union, they made a meme about that with the Simpsons, basically, of Australia doing well, and I want to congratulate you because it's big. But basically, it's like you're full of these old people who watch, and they're like, oh my word, this team in like even in 2010 were really good, or 2015 or whatever. Yeah. And I was only like, I played rugby my whole life, but I've only been really keeping up with international game properly since like 2019. And so you hear about all these great players, but it's like, man, you actually really had to be there to be like, dude, at this moment, like the in-between points between World Cups, like this guy was so good. Like you can't even, it's unreal, and it's so sad because the competition is so strong, like on their own team, that they are getting overcome and stuff. But anyway, sports side tangent aside,
no, it fits in.
I think
it is like
Yeah,
ultimately, I think the message of all of this is like you really should like enjoy the moment,
yeah,
um, and not try to future-proof it. But that's like incredibly difficult to do, and I don't think anybody can do it. So it's like this thing that will always make you sad type thing.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, that
but
was a big
it is like
thing. That was a big thing of my Japan music video thing. Like, if you listen to the
yeah
lyrics and stuff like that, like it's nostalgia for the future. Like when you're in it, sit there and be like present. Like it's so hard when I'm on a holiday. I'm just like, man, I'm having so much fun. And every now and then I'll sit there and be like, man, in 2 weeks I'll be wishing I was back here or like remembering this. And it's like, and then I
yeah
get really sad because I know that like my memory will only remember like 1% of all the time I spent on this holiday or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I should record it so then I can remember it. But now I only really remember it mostly through the photos and videos I recorded, not through my own mind. All this stuff, right? And it's like this, like
yeah
I think, and that's what works. So because like that's the message of Cowboy Bebop. But then, as you said, like you were saying, like you only see a little part of their lives or as they're going in, and it's hard to actually get like what they're actually saying. It's like sometimes like these people will just take off and not return for a while. That's why they don't go out looking for Faye in the movie, like because they're just like, I'll phase off for like a week or whatever, and we don't hear from her, and it's like in a weird way because we don't get like it leaves us, as you said, it leaves us wanting more in a really smart way to make us love it even more. You know, like it's not like oh, I wish I got more of this, like it was really underwhelming. It's more like, man, I had such a good time that I wish I could go back there and hang out with my friends again on the Bebop. And that's like,
yeah
oh, that's actually the point of this, and that's why like I think it works so well. And it like it leaves you like really like with this image and feeling of wanting more Cowboy Bebop, when it like might not even be able to deliver for it. Maybe it's not that good, but it lets your brain do the work for it, if that makes sense. You know, it's like a
yeah.
really weird, smart show psychologically to make you feel certain things. So yeah, it's weird.
Just on this note, Jarkey Bacon, I am spending the last less than 2 hours of my 2 week holiday here talking with you about
Oh,
Cowboy Bebop. So
what
I
a
am
beautiful
depressed. I
way.
do have to go back to work tomorrow. I do want to kill myself, and I won't be living in the moment.
Oh,
Um, just on a brief note, Bacon, am I cutting out at all for you?
no, no, not at all.
Okay, because you're for a second there, about every second word was cutting out, but I was still following. But I think it might be a mic issue, perhaps.
Okay. Can you
Because
still
I
hear
was
me?
looking at the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Because I was looking at the thing and it wasn't going down green or off green on
Okay.
Discord. So
Cool.
it might be like a noise gate thing or something, but I don't
I
know
don't
what
have
that
a noise
means
gate
really.
on this mic, but
Um,
okay.
well then it wouldn't be
Keep
that.
me abreast
Yeah,
of
maybe
the
talk more
situation.
directly into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Cool.
it was fine. I did follow. But
But yeah.
it
Anyway,
was like the halves of words. But you know, from one half I can understand the other half. You know, I'm a genius. Anyway.
good.
But true. Also, I had written down here that this applied maybe like 2 minutes ago, but there is going to be somebody that's going to live in that little Grandmaster Hex little environment there tomorrow, and they have never met Grandmaster Hex, and everybody's going to be like, "How do you not know who Grandmaster Hex is?" And little by little, there'll be
Yeah.
more and more people who don't know who Grandmaster Hex is,
That's crazy.
and
Yeah.
that'll
So
be crazy.
wistful. So wistful.
Especially if we were to go and visit that again as Spike and Faye, we would be like, this is obviously Grandmaster Hex's place. But that's just our perception of it because we were here for that brief snapshot in time.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It was the 2010s. The 2010s had an identity, Bacon, but we can never go back there. And the 1920s, they had an identity, Bacon, but we can never go back there.
Yeah.
So what is our identity now? But right now, we will remember the 2020s with some sort of identity, but we're
We're
not really
halfway
cognizant
through
of
the
it now.
2020s. We're closer to 2030
It's
than we are to
true.
2020.
It's true.
To
But we
2019.
right
Sorry.
now we don't understand and we don't appreciate whatever the vibe of the 2020s is, and we won't until it's gone, and then we remember it fondly because maybe it never really existed.
Yeah.
But you
And
know,
time
maybe it was
presses
all a
forward.
dream.
Yeah, and I mean, I was talking to like I think this is actually common with friendships. I was talking to a guy at work who's he's like early 40s, and he says, you know, when I move out of the place, I just like sometimes you just don't maintain the friendships you had, and then you'll go back there and you'll meet them up again, but you won't be as strong a friend. Like, and like I think it's so true. Like I wonder this with like Vinland Saga and our little like community and slice of the internet. Will we stay in touch? Probably not. People will move on. People will move out.
Yeah.
Because the community, we don't have the thing that keeps us coming back. And then when the season 3 of the anime comes out, then we'll be back in it and we'll be back together. You know, I already feel like we
Yeah,
had
I
that
get
little
that.
bit when people kind of fell off, you know, and then then we come back and it's like it makes me think. It's like there's so many times where I'm like, oh, like, oh, I won't go travel to see someone now because I need the money and I should be smart with my expenses and save for the future and like keep my savings. But I think in actually my head, like, no, you should just spend the money now because like just because like because you have the opportunity now because you might not have that opportunity later to go meet someone. So it's like you going to see Ari, that's like a good thing to do because you had the opportunity
Yeah,
to
the
do so at that
opportunity is it
movie.
will always be different, right? It
Yeah,
will
yeah, it'll be
always be
fleeting.
slightly different no matter
Yeah,
what. The but yeah, it's true. Time, it's crazy and
it's
stuff. It
crazy.
is interesting because this is sort of like this is kind of what you would describe as like not you, but the royal you, I guess, would describe as like a deep message in a story that actually works. Like a lot of the time in stories, like deep messages that don't work might be overly philosophical, and you're like, shut up, get out of here, or like it'll just be nauseating. But when it's like a very simple thing, like time moving forward and you realizing that it's like these resonant little moments you have in life where you realize something and it makes you like a little sad or something. Tapping into that is usually more. I think Cowboy Bebop does that pretty consistently. It might even be like the show's identity. And it is on very basic things like time moving forward or like not getting over an ex-girlfriend or being hung up on something from your past. And all these things are very easily, it's like deep on Easy Street or something because it's going to resonate for like 90% of people. But
Yeah,
we both sort of been testament to this where it does depend on your sort of maturity in life, I guess, where it's like you
absolutely.
sort
I
of
was
have
gonna
to
bring
have
this
had
point. Yeah,
yeah.
I was
I
gonna
made a
say
video about
like
that once.
I was gonna say like. I think what people like, and this brings me back to the eye patch wolf. I think what I remember is like, oh, I didn't get it until I was older, and then he references like, don't leave stuff in the fridge, and I was like, yeah, I kind of get that, but that feels a bit like a silly point,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
you can understand it, but until you experience it, it's like you don't truly
But
understand it. But then you sort of lose it. It's like
yeah,
yeah. Sometimes the hot water goes out here, and for those like 2 days, you're like, man, I would do anything for the hot water to take a hot water shower. Like, how could I ever like take this for granted? And you'd be like, in a story, if somebody only had cold water, you would like resonate with it so badly. But like you would understand if you'd never had like the hot water go out. You would understand as a concept why that would suck. But because you have the experience to like return to, it's like, oh, you like it just resonates more. So
yeah. I
which
think though my point with that is like focusing on like, oh, you don't get it until you've had a fridge of your own, and then you like left stuff in the fridge, and then it gets really disgusting. Like you wouldn't get a Cowboy Bebop. I disagree. Like that's like emblematic, I guess, but like that plot point isn't actually it. Like the maturity, like the actually what makes Cowboy Bebop resonate with your like quote unquote maturity is the wistfulness and realizing that time is passing, being able to go through friendships, like having them come and go, having to live in multiple places or work multiple jobs or be around multiple social situations or like groups of people where they've come and gone and you've had to leave them behind or move on and everybody's done stuff and then you realize you're not really up to date with them. All these things like that is stuff that just comes with time, not really maturity. And
yeah,
I feel like
it's kind of responsibility with the what do you not the shower thing, the fridge thing, right? More
yes.
so than these other things.
And the fridge thing is just like I guess an example of being older and just being lazy because I've been there. I've like forgotten about stuff in the fridge like and I've just left in the back or whatever because life is busy and you don't have time to clean out the fridge. But it's not like no, you don't have to actually have literally had the experience of cleaning out the fridge to be mature. That's not what I feel like, and I feel like that it's like almost focusing on like a very like on like a plot point that's very like front focused, if that makes
Yeah,
sense, instead of the actual like undergirding of why this works by the end of it, you know? And I feel like it really crystallized way better in the latter half, particularly once Ed gets involved. I think that's when like the crew is together, and then you're just like, as you said, the best part. I will get on with this. The movie. The best part about like the episodes are when you're just like, oh, I learned stuff about them, but like rewatching, I'm just like, dude, I just love seeing them hang out. Like for whatever reason,
yeah,
it's like the feeling of going back to like. I get me when I go back to my old hometown or something like that, and I get my old group of mates back together. We go out for a drink, and they're just bantering like we always used to, and I'm just sitting in it, like I love hearing this. Like this is so much fun. This reminds me of old times, and it's like almost like that, I guess.
yeah. It's the because I was like sitting here and I was having a moment because I remember thinking this about where I work because I've worked there for like 2.5 years now, and we had like a guy that was like leaving who was like a long time, like been there 20 years or something, and he was going to a different store or something. So a bunch of like old people came back in, and it made me realize like we've probably had like and this happens. I guess I don't want to say where I work, but in places like where I work, like the turnover rate is pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
So it was only then that I realized like the group of people that were here when I started, like most of them aren't here right now. And even like when they come back and visit, it's like sometimes I'd think, oh, I wonder when that person's going to come back around or something. But then they're there and then like maybe you say like one word to them or something and then they got to run off or whatever because you're just here for like a lunch quickly or something. And it's like you really are never going to have that again. Especially, it's kind of more quaint in the work environment because I don't really care that much about these people.
Exactly.
But when you're actually thinking about it, it's like, this is like something that has been lost. And that is like, does Spike and Faye really care about Grandmaster Hex? Not that much. But like, if they were made to think about it again, they'd go like, oh yeah, and then you would have a regret about
Grandmaster Hex, Yeah, and it reminds me of this meme that I saw recently. Where it was like when a character from season 2 of your life knows a character in season 6. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, this is your life. This is your own story arc. And then like people coming out.
Yeah.
But then with you at your work and this guy that's been working there, you were in his final arc at this store, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, and so like you're only like a blip in his like character journey overall. If you think about it in his story, and you think, oh, I can't imagine this work environment without this person because he's been there the whole time I've been there or whatever. Right? Like it's like an interesting like dynamic where you're just like, oh yeah, like just like I think that's the thing. It's just like there's things that constantly get me feeling like deep or almost existential, but like wistfully. I think
yes, it is like a bittersweet sort of like it's not like completely despondent, completely bad.
I think
that's kind of what that video is about, right? It was like the wallowing in sadness is like fun sometimes. It's like therapeutic, or it makes you feel like you've done something or been somewhere before. Whereas like not having that feeling of not doing anything is like worse than like doing something that was sad. Smile because it happened, not because it's over. Or something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, it's like at least for me, the two feelings like is I think it's called Sonder when you
when you realize the world is complicated.
When it happens every single time I go to like a big city and I see all these people I'm never going to see again. I'm just like, all these people have full
whenever I'm in a stadium
experience.
I feel that way.
Stadium, like a big group of people just like, and it's just like, and it also shows like when every time you see like 1 million views on a video, it doesn't even matter. But when you get to like 20,000 people,
1 million views, I know something about that,
but like then you're like looking around you and you're just like, oh my word, all these people have like full lives. They're gonna go back to it. That person is like a granddad. This one has a wife or whatever. Like all these things, and just makes you feel small. And it's the same feeling like that I get with this like. Is that Sonder and like nostalgia for the future? I guess I'll call it that feeling in the present where you're like, dude, I'm gonna look back on this and be so, like, I need to recognize that this is gonna be what I'm nostalgic about in the future. I guess it's like, anyways, no, that's what I love about.
I have a story about that specifically about Steins Gate that I hope I'll remember to say next time.
Okay, I'll try and remember. I might get started on Steins Gate today. Who knows? We'll see.
I'm pretty excited to start too, but
anyway, should we?
True, we've kind of ended up making this. Yes, we've kind of made this our overall thoughts. I think was episode 1 here, but that's fine.
It's one of those things where like I didn't really know I had these thoughts until we started talking about it, but it's so true. Like I like it.
Yeah, but we've also talked about a bunch of things that aren't really this episode, so it's fine. I do have one last note here, which just is getting high and Waltz for ZZ. They did use Waltz for ZZ at the end of this episode, and it was like a legitimate emotional moment at the end when he died, and there was like a bird, I think, and the bird like flew off, and because he had a parrot with him and stuff, and his last move, and I think he beats Ed in the end, and Ed is like frustrated. It's very cute. But that's the episode. Unless you got something else to say, Bacon.
No, I do realize we've been talking for 15 minutes. I do need the toilet, but I don't have a pause button on my thing, so
we'll have to.
We have to
cut it out.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, I'll just do 2 recordings then. I'll be right back.
I'll hang up and rejoin while you do this.
Cool. Oh, I'm back. Story time. Yesterday I got back from my first like rugby game of the season, and I dropped a log that plugged our toilet, and I spent a good little bit training free it. I'm not sure about you. How? Okay, Carl. This is a big question. How often do you think you take a dump?
Like I'm terrible at this. When I was little, I would take like weeks between.
Yeah.
Like a week.
Oh, kindred spirit. I'm not
Terrible.
quite weeks, but I'm like I feel like sometimes I'll do like one a day, and then sometimes I just won't go for like 2 days or 3 days in a row, and then it just all comes out in like one big old ka-ching.
See, mine never does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's I used to have like stomach issues when I was a kid. Like I would get constipated constantly. They'd like make me eat prunes and stuff. I would be miserable.
Oh, yeah,
and I'd get big stomach aches.
Do you have like a lot of fiber in your diet?
Yeah, I liked. Well, actually, recently I saw a thing because I was gonna say I eat lots of bananas. But recently I was like, I saw it might have been a YouTube short where it was like fiber, like bananas aren't actually good for fiber.
Oh.
But I also don't drink coffee or anything, which is like supposed to help.
Oh,
And
yeah, actually, I do. I don't drink much coffee either, but that I do think that is like it's flush time.
yeah, caffeine's supposed to do that.
Oh, caffeine. Okay, that makes sense.
I do notice though when I go to work, it like being more active seems to help a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think
whereas like the 2 weeks I've had off have been pretty bad. So
yeah, I think like walking, like something about like running. Like I went for a run, and like during the run, I was like, dude, I need it so bad. But then like as soon as I'd done the exercise, then I feel like I don't need to do anything. You know, I then like it all just, and then I'm like, dude, in like 2 hours, I'm gonna really need to go again. And then it's like, oh, gotta go. And I just need to go in the next like 5 minutes because I can't stop it. It's weird. It's like because you can't go while doing the sport. Your brain like turns off the switch,
like
and
the
then it's like,
adrenaline.
nope, we really need to do this, overriding the emergency, or something. Yeah. Anyway, I was actually thinking while I was taking my little break, there's a game that I think you might enjoy because it has. I've always thought about this thing with like, man, I've never been more inspired to like make a video game with just a small group of characters to kind of recreate this bebop vibe. And like, anyway, this game that I'm suggesting isn't really like a bebop vibe exactly, but it has like this crew of characters that by the end of like the short runtime, it's like 8 hours long. You end up really liking it, and it's called Hi-Fi Rush. You would have seen it on my.
Oh, I've heard of Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, it's good. It's
they
just
shut
like
the studio down, Bacon.
Yes, they did.
We were all mad about
I think they're gonna make another one. I think they've.
Yeah, because they got back together
or something. But yeah, like it's the game itself has like you end up with like growing your cast of characters over the course of the game, and it just kind of. I think it's a winning formula. It just works so well if you just have a cool group of like 4 characters which are fun in their own way. I don't think the characters in that are as good as Bebop, but yeah. Anyway, just something I was thinking about. Like, I feel like more shows need to, I don't know, do more. There surely are like more shows, but I feel like okay, a good example is like Attack on Titan. There's too many characters, right? And then like Vinland Saga doesn't invest enough into its characters to get to this point. Like, there's not enough slice of life stuff in Vinland Saga, or even like Berserk. I'd say to some extent as well. Like,
no, Berserk is the greatest. But there's like because people compare Black Lagoon to it, but like Benny and Dutch have like no fleshing out really. They certainly don't have their own episodes or anything like that. So it's not really that either, I would say.
It is like you need like some equal time of them and them bantering, and then like I think another thing is them not being that explicit.
You know what's kind of similar?
What?
It's fucking Pokemon.
Oh really? Yeah.
It's not. It's obviously they don't try to do deep. Well, sometimes they do things with Pokemon. But it is like Team Rocket. They get their own episodes. They're pretty fleshed out. And then there's Misty, Brock, and Ash. They're all pretty fleshed out. They all get individual episodes. Probably Misty more so than Brock. They're very different, but it is like the core group, and every episode does start with them like around a campfire bantering because they're lost or something.
Yeah.
Maybe formula and the episodic nature of it is kind of.
I mean, the other obvious example for me is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which you've got to watch. Carl, you still got to watch it.
Oh, you want to know? You want to know something, Bacon? This is an exclusive right here.
Oh, what?
I was planning on my 2 weeks off to try and do reactions to Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I just avoided doing it.
Crazy.
I was gonna shadow drop it. I wasn't gonna tell anybody, but now that it's not happening, I'll let you know.
Oh, you got to do it. I mean, like after the last Airbender, it's got a lot of episodes, but by the end of it, you'll be feeling the same.
It doesn't really.
You'll be feeling the same way that you feel by the Bebop. You'll be like, man, I wish I had more time with these characters. Yeah. And
Avatar's a dumb kids show.
It is, like Pokemon. And there was something from the Pokemon video that I was going to bring up in this conversation, but I can't remember it now.
From the most recent one?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, you're the only person in the world that watched that video, Jarkey.
Really?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, I should have watched the comment.
Well, Ari didn't watch it because he doesn't watch any of my Pokemon videos.
I thought it was crazy that you said it was bad, and I just remember, like, I didn't grow up with the TV show, so I've just watched this movie, like, on, like, rips on YouTube, and that's, like, the only Pokemon movie I watched, and I loved it. I, like, cried when Ash died or whatever, like, the classic reaction. I feel like the most normal reaction, then you come out and it's like, it sucks. I was like, okay.
True. Show's way better. The show's funny.
True. I feel like...
It's true.
Anyway, it'd be interesting reflecting on that and then reflecting on the Cowboy Bebop movie as we're talking about it, I guess.
You just had two bad...
Sorry, I did notice that my green on Discord, maybe there's something with Discord cutting out my mic for you, but it didn't not work on the thing.
Honestly, it's not that bad because it's almost certainly that the recording is fine, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I was just saying, like, we'll see if it's like the Cowboy Bebop movie.
I'm pretty sure you said Bebop, but I didn't hear any of the words. So
anyway, moving on. So where are we putting this episode? Are we gonna? I think it's a solid.
Oh yes,
A
we gotta
episode.
rank them. That's true. It's it's an A episode, I think.
Yeah, it's a standard good Bebop. Yeah.
If we have 15 episodes in A tier, so be it.
Exactly. Next.
Now the next one is actually an interesting one because it is My Funny Valentine, which is I guess you could say the second Faye episode if you count her introduction one, but it is the first of two, and everybody really loves the second one, and this first one's a little funny. I remember not liking it too much. Going into this, and then I feel like it was fine this time. It didn't blow my socks off though, Bacon. Is that about what you thought?
You know what? I think I liked this one more than the third Faye episode.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. And you know what it was? It was all of them watching the video and then she's in the background because I completely forgot about this scene because I can't remember how many Faye episodes there were. I was like, is this the moment? There's no way this is the moment. And it was just... I don't know.
Funny. I was gonna say maybe Bacon didn't like the episode leading up to the moment because it is very much just that moment that's the really good part of that episode. So it's funny. Yeah,
well, I just remember seeing that. This is when you see her talk, her child version
to herself,
stuff, right? Yeah, that got me. And then with all her all her friend or all the Bebop members talking about it. That then watching it as she's in the background, they're prying to really deep personal stuff. I don't know, it tapped into it for me, and they're like, oh my word, this is Faye, and this is crazy, and they don't quite realize it. And then Faye's watching in the background, and they don't know she's watching it with them. I don't know, that scene, I loved it so much. I mean, I can understand.
Wait, you understand that that's not in this episode? That's in the other one.
Oh, is that in the other one? Hang on. Which one's the third?
This is the one where she dates the guy and then he comes back and he's a fat guy.
Yes, I thought. And when did she get the? Oh yes. Oh, so there's a fourth. There's four. Sorry, I was saying.
No, there's three. This is the second one.
No. Okay, so the fourth one is the one where she goes back to her place and lays in the ground with Ed when Ed leaves.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. If you're counting, call me, but that's in a different league, Jarkey Bacon. Everybody, calm down.
Sorry. I'm getting. So my things mixed up.
Yes, I was calling you an idiot for liking the fat guy better than her talking to herself.
Yes,
so I think we're in agreement. Actually,
yes, we agree on that one. Yes, okay. Yeah. Of course, I'm being so stupid. I can't believe I should have just read ahead. Okay, yeah, This one.
Okay, everybody.
I'm so calm
Delete
down.
The hate comments.
Calm down. All I remember about this episode is when they had the view of her with her cleavage at the beginning.
Which one? I don't remember.
It's when she's in she has the towel. She's getting defrozen, and it's just the guy's having a conversation around her, and you're clearly meant to look from her perspective, but it's just the towel, whatever.
Okay, I think I remember this now that you described it.
Yeah.
But there is Faye is the eye candy, no matter what else she is. So there are lots of scenes in many a episode, and a movie where
and a
she's very
movie, for
seductive.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Stop jumping ahead, Jarkey.
Oh, okay. There was one really good part of this episode, which was like Faye telling the story to Ayn, like the whole setup is hilarious, and then Ayn just not being bothered. And this kind of gets onto
Spike
Ayn a
coming
little
out of the
bit.
toilet.
Like I don't know if this is an early episodes, but I wasn't looking. But Ayn's like, or like he is like the super genius dog, right? That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah, he's a data dog.
Yeah. So then like I just thought it was funny because like there's a couple times like now where he's like saved. He explicitly saves Jet's life on the hallucination one, and then he also has something to do in the movie as well. And I feel like it's not played on much, but I'm like when Ayn's going crazy, you listen to Ayn because Ayn's like smarter than everybody on the ship, basically.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
which is funny because that's usually a dog trope when the dog isn't smart. Like that happens in Game of Thrones a lot, where the dog will growl at somebody that's going to betray us later. But here it's that the dog is actually a genius and is doing the normal dog thing of being right about everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
I just thought it was funny because like Ayn, it's like Faye's funny, like assuming that it's like self-importance and like, oh, I can speak. It's a classic like your old dad. He doesn't want to get a puppy as a pet, but then eventually that's like the only thing he'll ever talk his emotions to, or like that trope. You know, it's like Faye with Iron Hand, and Iron doesn't care. And because Iron's actually intelligent, he's basically, I don't know, I kind of view him as a human in like in a dog's body somehow. It's like no, he actually literally doesn't care about Faye at all, which I think is hilarious. So yeah,
neither did Spike. My goodness. But true, my notes on this one. So I guess I didn't do a quick recap for this, but Faye, this is like the initial Faye backstory of her remembering how she woke up. And then there's a guy that's like from an insurance agency, and he like shows up to kind of save her. And then it makes it seem like he's saving her life or something when they're running away. And then he dies in the accident. But actually, then and Faye has a big life debt because she has to pay off all the time she was frozen because it's not fair. And that's why she's a bounty hunter. And then when she thinks her Prince Charming dies to save her, actually he faked his death so his debts would get added to her, and she was in even more debt. And then he shows up in a like all fat, and Faye still has some feelings for him or something, and it's a little cute thing. And the funny message, which I think Jet reiterates, is like the pretty girls always have a loser ex-boyfriend that's like a fat guy or a druggie or something that they're hung up on, and it's just so sad.
Yeah.
It's like that in Casino, the Martin Scorsese movie with the main girl in that movie, and I'm sure a million other little tropey examples. But also this movie is like this episode is there's a lot of Sleeping Beauty references. Like Faye wakes up and then she calls the guy her Prince Charming, and then he calls her Sleeping Beauty or something. So that's all going on. I haven't seen Sleeping Beauty, so
yeah, but
I think I understood the references.
Have you watched Tangled?
I have seen Tangled.
Okay.
That's Rapunzel.
I've got the view of like her cleavage on the video now. I sent it to you as well for the viewers.
Oh my goodness! I see a notification. I just can't wait to click on it. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I do remember this shot now.
It's just funny because he's like they're yapping about it, and this Barker's character was quite fun. I liked his voice acting a lot, and actually the lady, his assistant's voice acting was good as well.
That was all cute.
Yeah, I mean, it was just another. There's some stuff like I guess we just assume, oh, that was it, because I initially I believed whatever his face is, the ex-boyfriend. He was like, oh, I got like a fat gene or what, like I got like implant or something like that, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's why he's not. And then it just turns out he's lied the whole time.
He was just a big liar.
Yeah.
Girls get taken advantage of by their first boyfriends always, and it ruins them forever. Jarkey Bacon, is that the message here? My goodness.
And then Spike, it's revealed that Spike's been listening to the backstory the whole time as well when he comes.
Yes, and I have it noted down that he says, "Too long, your story needs editing," which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yes. And I hadn't, because I remember this being her boyfriend, but it's kind of loose and it's not really telling us how long they've hung out for here. And like I think as they're escaping, Faye's like asking him why he would like risk his life to help her out, implying that they had still only just met. So I don't know.
So. I feel like she just kind of
timeline's a little unclear here, but
I think what's also
which means
interesting
Faye
is that,
might
like,
be a virgin, which is kind of funny.
yeah, I think that was that. I think also, like, I think it's kind of like, it's also interesting because it's like her before she got like, I don't know, like, it's her
Cynical.
like, yeah, before she's super cynical and before the Faye we know, like, yeah, I just thought it was overall, yeah,
It is funny that she is kind of the only character that we have that with. Like, we never really see Spike when he's like young and like wide-eyed or anything. Even in all the flashbacks, he's still like a cool guy. And even when he's with Julia, he's still very much Spike. It's not like he has like a change of personality around her. And Jet is kind of the same, where but he's like older and he feels more like he is who he is type thing. And obviously Ed is so young that we can't really see younger Ed.
Yeah. I think also with like Jet, what's funny is that like he'll keep on making the same like he'll make the same dumb remarks or whatever.
Yeah.
Particularly about women, and you're just like, come on, Jet, grow out of it. But then you're just like, no, actually, like that's just how older guys just can be.
He's
like,
set in his ways.
He just set in his ways, and it's like, I guess, yeah, sometimes you just don't view these characters as, you expect them to go on a character arc or whatever. But no, he just says that, and then he'll be proven wrong, and he won't really change that much, and he'll then say the same comment again, and it's just kind of funny. So yeah.
Bitches be crazy. We're with Jet here. My fist is in the air as if we were joining some sort of pride here. But I think that's basically all my notes here. I have Sleeping Beauty, Sleeping Beast, eyebrows. I have no idea what that was in reference to. And everything else I've already gone over. This episode is like a A/B tier one. So B tier, calling it B tier means it's the second worst episode in the whole show so far. And that seems a little harsh, but I can't really think of another one that's worse.
There's some,
besides maybe Heavy Metal Queen.
There are some like cute new face scenes, particularly where she's like I'm looking at the episode now, but like she's like eating all the food like
fast,
fast.
And when there's all the gizmos around and she gets them all wrong, that was cute.
Oh yeah, that was funny as well. She's also like, it's like she's like at a library, and like she's like a new person exploring this world, and it's like a new way to see Faye, like basically.
Yeah.
But then you can understand why this would make someone ultimately like really, really jaded.
Yeah.
And I also think the fact is, another thing is I thought was funny, the fact that Ayn actually genuinely looks like this dude. Like initially, they was like, "You remind me of this guy," but he had eyebrows, and I was like,
"I didn't even think about that."
He actually looks like Ayn, probably because of the color palette.
That's funny.
So
yeah. I think the thing about Faye's character is that, like, I guess this is the same about Spike's character too. Is like they don't really learn. Like Jet does seem to learn lessons, and I guess that makes sense because he's older and he survived more, and he will survive more. And Ed is more flexible, and is obviously way less cynical. But Spike like tries to tell Faye to like learn from her mistakes, and then ultimately he ends up like just running back anyway, which is a big thing she says to him at the end.
Yeah.
But I guess the implication could be that Spike is sort of like a lesson for Faye to not continue down this path, which is possible. That's sort of left up to your imagination.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I do. I mean, there is something in me that, but I really like to just see like maybe like an old thing in the future where it's like, if they like, it'll be like Faye will be like 50 and Jet will be 70 or whatever, and then there's like a 20-minute episode where they meet up again or something like that.
They barely even remember each other. My goodness.
Yeah, something like that. Like something like I think it'd be cool to do like if they did a sequel.
Or maybe they got married and they lived forever together.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, there's not much chemistry there, I don't think.
No.
But yeah, it is. What happens afterwards is like a big, sort of like speculative thing.
Yeah, I never really wanted to know, but that's the role of fan fiction. Everybody, don't degrade it.
Fan fiction. I'm trying to think of a joke, Jarkey Bacon. I give up.
I was a fan of this fiction, which is episode 16.
Oh, that was a good one. Hold on, we didn't cement it in a spot
I feel like
yet.
B. Let's just put it as B because
We'll put it in B.
We'll put it in B.
Second worst episode. Pathetic. We ate that
I'm sure we put
episode.
another one. I feel like we had 4 tiers before, but anyway, it doesn't matter. There's 3 tiers now.
I can't think of a single other bad one. But then we move on to episode 16, as Jarkey Bacon said. Yeah. Black Dog Serenade. He's the black dog, Jarkey Bacon. My goodness.
Which is another Jet episode.
This is the second Jet episode, yes, with Uday and the space prison. And there's a breakout, and then it turns out Jet's partner from back in the day actually betrayed him, and that's how he lost his arm. And then he has to shoot his partner at the end of it, and they have a little bittersweet moment before he dies. This is another one where it's like, I remember thinking this one was just okay. It was kind of cool, but it's not like one of my favorites.
I don't know what about it, but like I feel like Jet does tend to have like the least interesting episodes for whatever reason. I mean, it's because it's not jokey enough, and it's like more serious in general. And then like I guess his ones are the most like world building in a way. On like definitely
they're the most like
aspect.
Singular too, where it's like you can't really have Spike in it too much, because then it's just like, why isn't Spike here helping Jet? Like he should like be standing right next to Jet as everything goes down, but we kind of separate him. So it feels like Spike is already not a character in this, so we're down to 3 characters. Ed's probably not going to be in him because they're usually darker or more mature. And then Faye is probably just there to make fun of him for a little bit, so it's very much just Jet and like the side characters, which I think works in the first one. I do think that first Jet episode is one of the better episodes.
True. It's just like this one. I felt this one might be another B one. I'd say like instantly it feels different to so many of the other episodes with like the atmosphere and the sound design. I remember watching.
It is cool that
it's just like switched up. It's like, oh wow, we're going with a bit more of a dark episode and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's more blood in this one and stuff. This is one of the ones they adapted in the live action, by the way, which is pretty funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like episode 2 or 3 too.
Oh, one thing
they change everything.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, go ahead.
No.
Oh well, I was just gonna say because they can't do the first Jet episode because they changed his backstory completely to where he has a daughter and he married that girl, but then they broke up and the girl is dating one of his former police officer friends, and like he gets in trouble for being like a bad dad constantly. So this is like the backstory substitute one, which is funny. And the guy that's dating his wife like is like, you're a disgrace. Oh, because in the live action he like gets like he goes down for being like a syndicate guy even though he wasn't. Whereas in here he just leaves of his own accord, so a bit of difference, Whatever. The live action was a little silly,
Yeah, actually, I need to ask you this at the end, but I guess I know one thing I did like about Jet here was that I feel like Jet and Ed actually get a pretty good relationship going. I actually really like their relationship.
Yeah.
This was one of them when he leaves her with the bonsai tree. It's like, you take care of the tree.
Oh yeah, because he's not sure if he's gonna live. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
it's a little
in a weird way. Jet's like the only one that actually trusts. Jet's
the whole crew. Yeah, he's like the mother.
He trusts the whole crew, but he actually only trusts Ed the most. Like I think at this point.
Well, yeah, he
like
trusts Ed to do that stuff.
Yeah, like he wouldn't trust Faye or definitely
because Faye might leave and Spike is not good at that stuff. But if he was like gonna get killed, he'd probably trust Spike to save him.
That is true.
It's just different sort of things. I don't know if he'd trust Faye for much. But they got married afterwards, Jarkey Bacon. So they're living happily ever after. Big age gap though, a little problematic. Faye, not gonna lie.
What? Yeah.
Now,
come on, Faye. How old is she actually? Like in
77. You were saying to me last time.
Oh, nice.
You must have looked it up. I believed you. But true, because the gate crash was like 60 years ago, and she looked like she was about 14 then, so it tracks.
Yeah. So now
and also, it has to be young enough for that lady to still be alive in episode 24. So
yes. Yeah.
It's not like 150 years ago or something crazy. Mm-hmm. Also, I was thinking this, and I was thinking this especially in the movie. Like, these are some pretty big cities to have all be like under 50 years old or something. So But whatever. Don't think about it. It'll be
That's
fine. It's the
a good
future.
point.
They can build things faster.
Well, I was thinking the movie was like,
Um,
why would they have all these antique bombers on Mars? Like, how do they transport them? I guess they could have easily, but I was like, why would you move like World War II? And I guess maybe because Earth is like,
to make a museum or something.
I hadn't got to the point where they revealed that Earth is just a dumpster fire. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's why they probably moved it to Mars.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe there's possibilities. It doesn't make too much sense, but it's like a funny thing.
Yeah.
I do absolutely agree with the sound design. And now this is one of the only episodes that's like entirely in space, I think. So that's also got a particular well, no, I guess it's not, because he goes and meets his partner on Mars or wherever it was, and then they go into space. But a lot of it is in space. So it gives it sort of a more dark atmosphere. But most of my notes, it says maybe the best track is the ominous thudding one. True, and this is not actually a track on the soundtrack or anything, but it's like used in very select moments where it's like this very ominous like thudding thing. It's usually whenever Vicious shows up, like the track will play underneath and in the background. It shows up here, I think, when Uday is initially taking over the ship, where it's like, I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like, and it's like really weird and cool, and I like it a lot. And I did go searching for it because I was like, I'd love to use this in videos. It's like pretty backgroundy, but it's like a 5-second loop that has never actually been released on any of the like 7 soundtrack discs. So that was sad.
Yeah. I think one thing I thought about as well is like, for some reason I kind of believe that Jet could die, or that Jet was in danger, even though like generally in these episodes you don't really believe.
Yeah, he was a scary guy. This fella.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. And I like the designs were really cool. I like seeing like him younger and Uday younger and older as well. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway. It was cool. The next note I have is, it says the European branch of the Syndicate, which I guess is something they must say here, which is like a weird bit of world building, I guess. But okay.
Yeah, like why would Europe still be a thing if not on Earth? But maybe it's all the Europeans that
well,
moved over.
I assume space travel had kind of started before the gate accident, right? So maybe they were like based in Europe, and then they kept the name even though it's been like 50 years.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it could just be an ethnic thing or something. I don't know. Because the syndicate that Spike and Vicious are in it seems very Japanese coded.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And why would they all just be called the Syndicate? But
the Syndicate. So where are we putting this episode? Are we putting it A?
Oh, hold on, I got 2 more.
Oh, you got 2 more.
Here. Uday and Jet both got betrayed by their groups! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! What a thematic! What a genius I am! And then the last one just says 1 bullet, which is weird. I don't know what I was referring to.
1 bullet to shoot like
in the chamber. That's true. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I would say this one's like a low A. I feel like I like the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah, I think I did like. I feel like I was B and then I argued into an A, but I think I'm gonna put in a B. I think. Just
low A, high B. Yeah. We can put it in B. I don't care that much.
Just because 15 was also has good points. It's all Cowboy Bebop, so it's all good.
Yes, true. Nothing's going to be lower than a B, I don't think. Well, Bacon could throw some at me. But hold on, let me scroll up a little bit. Jupiter Jazz is great, of course. Toys in the Attic is great. Ganymede LG is great. Jamming with Edward is great. Waltz for Venus. Oh, that one's pretty good. I didn't like that one as much, I don't think. But yeah, Heavy Metal Queen is obviously the worst one. And there's none that are that much worse except for the beginning ones. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is
the Gateway Shuffle was
Which one's that? Is that one, two,
that's the super environmental people that's taken over.
Yeah, that one's okay. Yeah. Like 2, 3, and 4, they're on a...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
They'd be away. Mushroom Samba. This is the trip one where
Let me say I loved this episode, just straight up.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good.
It's the mushroom one, and it's also got a bunch of blaxploitation references that I don't really get, but they all seemed cool. Like, I know the thing where there's like a guy carrying a coffin behind him is like from a really cool like old blaxploitation western that we're all supposed to get, and then it gets run over, and that's supposed to be funny. And like the girl with the big afro and stuff. That's like a genre of film.
A reference. Okay.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino likes and apparently rips that off a lot. Is like the thing that
films
edgy lefty video
exploitation film, so consequently black civil rights movement, black power movements. That's amazing. Okay, because I knew there was something there. Because I was watching with everyone was like, man, these feel like these are like the first like truly black people we've seen, and they feel like caricatures. But I was like, is this like empowering or not? And because there's a reference to black state, whatever. That sounds a bit
because
better.
blaxploitation movies are movies made by black people. Even though it would sound like it's like white people exploiting black people, that's not actually what it means.
Yeah.
So you got to do some extra intuitism.
Yeah, I think this was just like, this is like such like classic, just like it's just a really whimsical episode. People having fun. The character designs
it's kind of a more Ed focused one.
Yeah, it's another Ed focused one, but the character designs were a bit like again interesting.
The cow speaks or something. I remember this one. No, the cow and Ein speak to each other, right? He says, "Thanks."
Oh yes, that was so funny.
That was great.
Oh.
Like Vinland Saga, my goodness. But yeah, because this is another thing of what you were saying earlier, where like the characters being really strong helps, because all of them having their independent like trippy dreams, and it all feels very like it gives you some insight into their characters. It's all like really cool. Like Spike is in the middle of the staircase walking forever because he's like split between two things, the past and the present, and like death and being alive and all that stuff. And then Faye is swimming in the toilet or something, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of being delusional, which kind of fits. And then Jet is with his bonsai tree or something, right? What's he doing again? I forget.
Yeah, he's just chatting to it like it's a mate.
Oh yeah, he just wants somebody to talk to. My goodness.
And then like the watermelon stand as well.
Yeah. It's also like it's really hot and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it's the one that has the that one Ed song the most, or it's like dun, dun. It's like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I also really like this one. That's the one too. That's the one I used for my Funny Annie video back in the day. Yeah. I think that's privated now.
Also, the voice acting was really good, but like I think this is another thing like why I haven't commented on too much, but like I think with the Metalhead Heavy Queen or whatever, like when the voice acting isn't as strong from the the voice acting is going to be like you're going to like it at least from all the main cast, but it's just about the extra cast. Characters. But I think like because like maybe
you call them NPCs a bunch last time, Bacon.
Yeah, the world NPCs like the Mushroom Man, and then the guy following the Mushroom Man, and the woman with the afro. Like they feel like they're well voice acted, maybe because they're caricatures or something. But like
I think like special attention would have been paid to them. But like in the Uday episode, like the other prisoners were very hit and miss if I remember correctly.
And I thought it was weird that like two of them didn't have two teeth. Only had two teeth, so they were stupid.
Yeah, because they're bad guys.
Yeah,
and they look bad.
And they're just dumb. I feel like that's like a common gimmick in like Fire Emblem as well.
Yeah, that's funny. I was playing Fire Emblem GBA at some point this year. Jarkey Bacon, I know everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's exactly the guys that are in there. Yeah.
But I have 3 notes on this one. It says sign shot was cool. I wonder which sign was shot and how cool it was, but it must have been cool because I wrote it down here. I'm assuming it was like that said water in 700 miles, and then Ed was like, man, and then they ran. Ed also like was in that girl's boot, and then the cop opened it up, and then the cop tries to catch him at the end too, but it's actually just normal mushrooms because they got scammed. And there's also, I remember there's a cool place where he's growing the mushrooms, which is pretty funny. And he was like picking them off a wall or something. And the exit thing for the end of the episode changes to this one where it says life is but a dream, which was cute.
Yeah. Also, another thing I noticed in this episode, I think I don't know, I didn't notice a ton of animation quality variation, but I do remember I think it was this one where it was like really good. I can't remember
I feel like it happens relatively frequently. This was definitely one episode. I suppose
overall the whole anime just feels like it's well animated. Like there's no points where like, it's clearly just there. Maybe it's the directing or something, but I don't know what they do to make it works so well. I don't know if it's like because
it is
Studio Bones' first outing, I think.
One of them, I think. Yeah.
Which then this gets me excited for a couple of future Studio Bones, but Studio Bones I feel like they've kind of lost a bit of aura recently. Maybe it's because they've.
I feel like this is like we only remembered the good ones, and now that we like pay more attention, that like every one isn't a hit, people are like, oh, they fell off. I feel like that's what happens with anime studios.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is like, for example, compared to like Vinland Saga, it's like way better animated, But this wasn't done by Bones. So who was this done by?
It's like Sunrise and Bones was credited on the movie at the beginning, but it is like I knew it was either them or Sunrise.
Oh yeah. So which movies? Let me have a look at the movies that they did.
The movie had both Sunrise and Bones at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. And then Bones also did Razafon.
Yeah.
And Escaflowne.
Right, and Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, Sword and the Stranger. I need to watch that one still. My Hero Academia, Mob Psycho. But like, I feel like recently they're just not. Oh, but yeah, they've got this new one out. Okay, they've done a bit of shonen and stuff. They've done Boku no Stray Dogs as well.
I didn't know they did Mob Psycho. I don't know who I thought did that, but it's funny.
Yeah. So I mean, and they did Space Tennis. So they still maybe they're just because they've done so much My Hero recently. I've not heard of I think maybe they've had still a good animation, but they've just not had.
Yeah, and My Hero definitely feels, even though I did like all of the My Hero I had seen, does feel like very sterile and.
Yeah, but the animation is really good in My Hero at certain points. But I think also they were.
Fights. Who cares?
I think it was more like they're like, oh, here it is for. Like they put more of it into the movies. Basically, they're like, oh, because they're using the movies and stuff. But yeah, Boku no Stray Dogs is Bones as well. I wonder how good that is. I've heard it's a good series.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that shit.
Yeah, and so what makes me excited is that the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood writer, her most recent manga, is getting adapted. And the guy who,
I think I saw this on Twitter, right?
Yeah, and it's done by Bones as well. And the director of that directed the Cowboy Bebop movie and Sword and the Stranger. So I do wonder. I was very interested in watching.
I thought it was just Watanabe again for the movie. On Letterboxd it says it's him.
Yes, but let me see.
It could be like co-directors and stuff.
I mean, it was produced. I'd recognize the guy's face. I thought. Let me go back. I know he's on sort of.
Are you on Mal?
Ando. No, I'm on Wikipedia. Ando.
Oh, okay.
Ando. Okay, let me look at Cowboy Bebop movie. Is Ando on here?
Because on Letterboxd it definitely has Shinichiro Watanabe.
Yeah. Oh no, I think I had a slide. Anyway, that was one reason why I was happy because I was like, oh, this guy's maybe he did. What did he do in Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, it does have a co-director here on Letterboxd. It has Yoshiyuki Take.
No, okay, he was animation director support. Okay, I saw director and I was like, that's it. Anyway, I was wrong.
This guy, I clicked on his Letterboxd and he has Escaflowne the movie on here, which I didn't even know Escaflowne had a movie. And Escaflowne. Yeah. We gotta watch Escaflowne, Jarkey Bacon. What are we doing around here? That's the first time I nearly called you Elite RE. We're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good.
I hate how baked into my vocabulary that is.
Yeah, it's like when I called my mate my dog's name one time. That was like bad. I was like, yeah, I just needed to say. I was saying something quickly.
You know, this might be a little too much information, Jarkey Bacon. But you when I'm like cuddling with my cats, you do like the cat noise, right? So our cat noise is like you do that, and you're like brushing your nose on their head. Yeah. One time when I was cuddling with my girlfriend, I did do that noise. Now she didn't recognize it because she's never been around me with my cats. But for a second, I was like, oh. That was
crazy.
That felt gross a little bit. Shouldn't have done that. But I didn't get in trouble. I was the only one that knew, but I was freaking out a little bit. Okay, but I don't have that relationship with my cats, Jarkey Bacon. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Sex with cats is bad. Can we get that on record?
Yeah. Just get the bestiality claims out of the way.
Can we also get? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to go back to the episode.
So was I. I was going to say, can we get you on record for what you give in this episode? But,
yeah. Okay. So I just want to say one more thing. Another thing I liked also with their dreams was also how they like. I mean, I don't think that it was as well performed, but it's funny them all giving reasons and why they just steal the mushrooms. Like when Ed's putting it out there for bait.
Yeah. And then Spike does it subtly and. Faye, it was pretty cool.
Well, and then Jet self-justifies it to himself because Jet is a very moral person.
Yeah.
He has to give a reason for it's all these fun things. But yeah. And also,
what a great episode.
Yeah, like all the character designs. The black one was hot. I was like, oh my word, she is rocking that.
She was.
But also, yeah, the coffin is what that. Yeah, that was funny as you said. Yeah, all of it was good. I just liked all of them. And then Ed's, yeah, like no, actually the animation is really good on this, I think. And I think also, I'd say this for the last episode, like the faces are really well drawn as well. I think more so for the women, for the men, sorry, like the faces are more diverse. But I think what I liked about this woman, the black woman's design, was that like her face structure was actually slightly different. Like Faye's nose often just gets erased, and I think going from the movie back to the anime, like I kind of noticed that. I was like, man, her face is just kind of like, I don't know, something about it I don't like as much. How it's drawn, but like I think it's just something you can kind of tell. Like you can tell the often like not just the quality of animation by like how it's animating, but like just if the stills of the faces look good and like well defined, then it's doing well. Anyway, I'm gonna bring that up.
True.
Cool.
Yeah. It's not like Vinland Saga where all these no good ladies look the same. Unbelievable. But this is probably the height of A tier for me, Bacon.
Yes.
What do you reckon?
Oh, I was thinking S tier maybe.
Oh, you could win me over pretty easy, I think.
Oh, right, it's going S tier. It was like an easy S.
The bottom of S tier it goes.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah. Also, sorry if anybody hears like stuff in the background. I'm like scanning from the episodes as well. As it happened last time.
That was something I did notice when I was rewatching our discussion. Was that sometimes there'd just be some noises. It's Jarkey Bacon doing things on his computer.
Yeah, I'm like skimming through the episode. So most of the time it's like the start of Tank. So don't think you're going crazy, folks. I'm just watching Tank.
Tank's pretty cool.
So
did you know at episode 25 to enjoy your last Tank, or did you expect it to be there?
No, I was rushing too much, so I would have skipped it anyway.
That's true. You were in a rush. Okay, that makes sense. See, I watch the OP and the ED in full each time, but I do click off when the Netflix credits come up because I don't need to see the credits for every language. Now, episode 18, Jarkey Bacon, Speak Like a Child, is the Faye episode you thought?
Yes, this is amazing.
We were talking about before. Yeah. Which is funny because it does. I always think of it as like episode like 21, but it is like episode 18.
Oh, I didn't talk about this with the mushroom one. Like the mushroom one in my mind was the episode that Ed left. I know that wasn't the case because like, there's no way Ed's leaving this early. But
it's kind of a similar like. Yeah, it's like orange.
Yeah, you kind of like merge it in your mind a little bit. I think with a couple of these. So
yeah. But nope, it's different.
And also, when you binge watched it like 6 years ago, like thanks for coming.
True, also true. So this one I do kind of like because this episode ends like Faye gets a package and she like runs away and then they have to pay for it and then they are curious about what the package is and the package is like a VCR or a Betamax. I can't remember which one it was. So then they have to go and get it investigated.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
It was the beta one, and then
okay, there we go.
But like they had to find the one that was it, right?
Yes, they had to go off and find it, and then they had to go back to Earth to go to an old museum to find one. It's like a weird little plot to get to the Faye bit at the end. So it is sort of like an episode and then a big moment at the end. But I like even the middle part. I like them going back to Earth and having to go down the elevator shaft and everything. I like them going to see that one guy who's watching like a obviously really bad old TV show, thinking it's great.
It's like almost it's like the reverse weeaboo. It's like the guy that's watching all the old OVAs from like the 90s, from like the 80s. I'm like, guys, this is really good.
Spike is being a terrorist in this poor man's shop. He's just destroying everything. He's hitting
I don't know.
stuff.
This like really, I just like caught me off guard. I was like, I guess like Spike can just kick everything because everything's so. It is true. Like in this universe, like everything, all the tech looks super durable. Like it's all chunky, it's all metallic, and you could just kick it. But I didn't really contemplate that he would just kick it. Like, dude, you're clearly breaking it. And he doesn't want to break it.
And they refuse to pay for it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Unbelievable, these guys. Unbelievable. I do remember, I think the opening shot of this is Faye at the racetrack, and I remember really liking that shot. And there's like intercut with like shots of a fountain. It's like really cool. Yeah, like she wins initially, and obviously she loses it all by the end. But,
and then
she runs off for a little bit.
And then I'm getting like, she and then she almost gets it back, and yeah, oh, there's so much. Like yeah, like as you said, like them starting out hanging on the ship, they're like doing laundry and stuff. A different part of the ship, you kind of get to know the ship better. Ed's doing funny animations. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same
Cool.
time, then yeah, it was. There was other points where I got really anxious. Where like, I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, like the Jet's like, what is it? He's ironing the tape. I'm like, is that a thing you did with VHS? Could you get away with that? That's gonna damage it. We're gonna lose Faye's backstory to, like, I mean, I had a VHS tape like when I was younger, but then I broke the machine actually one time. But,
yeah, we did have them when I was really little. Like we had some wrestling pay-per-views on there, and I remember you like I being annoyed that you had to rewind it fully. So I would always just avoid it and watch the DVDs we had. But yes, on our first DVD player, it was a DVD and VHS player. But yeah, I have no idea. Like I don't think I really understood that there was actually film in there or anything like that. I just thought it was like the same thing but older for some reason. That's funny. But true, that's all cool. And then we get the Faye moment at the end. My notes here read, the city and the place with the VHS guy is really cool. Oh, I do like city, like nightlife is like always like really cool, especially when you're in like I remember this when I was walking around Auckland a lot, when you like find like weird, like little, like not like the main street, though main street, walking down main streets is pretty cool too, even at night or in the daytime. But when you find like a weird little corner of the city where it's like a small path that leads to a small path that only certain people know about, and there's not that many people around, and it's like the night, there's some cool lights and it's some weird shops and stuff like that. I remember there was like, in Bebop, and even like, especially in the movie, there's little shots like that where it's like a little creative little enclave they've created here. And when they were walking to the VHS shop, I remember this being one of those moments. So that's cool.
Very
it
good
requires
at
like
little
creativity.
Yeah, and I think this is one thing that you notice. I mean, you can do more like in a big city, like when we were in Tokyo, like you could just because it was such a safe place. When you're out at night, you feel like, oh, I can just walk anywhere. I'll just stumble into something. When we were in Japan in general, we did it in Hokkaido. Like when I was on my big Japan trip, it was really nice to just be able to like, we kind of find someone on Google and then walk to it. But then other times you just walk along a road and be like, that looks interesting. Let's go there. And it's literally like a hole in the wall, and it can only fit the four of us and the barman. And then we're just like hanging out there for an hour buying drinks, from the sky, like getting to know them in like broken English and stuff like that. Like, yeah, as you said, there is like the back alleyways where you kind of you're like rubbing shoulders with people. It feels very like kind of authentic.
It is funny something you say about how you just felt safe to walk around places, because I did do that in Auckland, but people would tell me like you should not do that. You're gonna get fucking murdered if you do this. And it is funny because I would be scared to do it like around here or even in like Brisbane City. I feel like I'm like more aware of like what bad people here look like, so I would be like more scared to walk around. But I would like every night towards the end of my like second New Zealand trip, I would like go to the city library, actually the university library that I wasn't supposed to be in, but no one would stop me. Plus I had a jumper that was from the university, I was creative, and I would have to like walk through the big like main park at like 10:30 at night, and I would just walk through it and be fine and not even really care. And I do it like every night, and people were like, you should not walk through that park at night. And it's like, oh, it's New Zealand, I'll do it. It's just like a 20-minute walk.
And you're pretty.
But here I wouldn't walk around anywhere, and I wouldn't like if it was like a 20-minute walk, I'd be like, that's way too long. I'm not doing it. It's weird how like when you're in a different
probably
place.
do that. I definitely have done that in the US, which statistically you're way more likely to get murdered than anywhere in the UK, right? But like, I wouldn't do that in London, I don't think. But London's so big, so that's kind of next level. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's also like when you're with a group of guys as well, you're just like, dude.
Well, I was by myself, okay.
Yeah, exactly. When you're a group of 4 guys, you'll be fine. Like, and I mean, definitely in Japan, right? But
I was walking fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But true. The little back alley urban areas, the urban aesthetic is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think also like, so I just love the style of Cowboy Bebop aesthetically, of course. I mentioned it last time. I mentioned it again. And it's cool when they're having the old VHS stuff, and they're trying to get it to work, and then they go down the escalator shaft, and it's like they go back to Japan, but Japan is shown to be upside down, so it confirms that like
that was my one note here too.
Yeah.
I was saying, going back to old Japan for the only time in the show, and this is something, especially when near space shows or something where it's not too far in the future that we're just on completely different planets. In every anime, there's like a thing where it's like we will now do the Japanese thing, and we will like think it's really cool because we're supposed to be Japanese watching this and have like a bit of nationality right now, or nationalism as we watch it. Like how in Guilty Gear lore or whatever, I know just from that one lecture that like the Japanese people are like these special people that have the special powers.
Yeah.
And in Gunbuster, like for whatever reason, the big superpowers are Japan and the Soviet Union. It's like, okay, well, Japan's just important for some reason, even though it's supposed to be like 19 or like
same thing in like
2005.
Code Geass as well.
Evangelion
Japan
is like that,
known as Great Britannia or something like that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think it's
it's like, because you see similar things in like American stuff, right? Of course. So it's just funny. It's just funny. But it's like, oh, Japan's here, so this is a special moment.
But I also think Cowboy Bebop doesn't do that much. I think I don't know how big it is in Japan. It actually loves America. I think I also got this in the movie.
That is like the thing people say about it. Yeah.
There's a movie. It was basically like New York that I was depicting on Mars.
Yeah, there was like a Twin Towers shot.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious.
And it was. It did come out in 2011. 2001. Yeah.
Oh, when did it come out? 2004. Let me
very
see.
Funny.
It came out. It came out September 1st, 2001. No way.
Epic.
So it came out 10 days before 9/11.
Yeah. Better pull that one from theaters.
Yeah. They did that with they did that with Lilo and Stitch.
Spider-Man. Oh yeah.
Because I had a big.
I believe
the plane was going to crash into something. So that is nuts.
Yeah, in the first Spider-Man trailer for the first Spider-Man movie, I believe there was a shot where he saved somebody by webbing between the twin towers or something.
No way.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. It's funny. True. My last note is it really is a remarkable, gripping, chilling ending. Plays on personal regrets. It's true. It is like is the funny. I must
do your best.
Go me.
Go me.
Oh.
And
the way she giggles with her friends.
Yeah, and the worst part is she doesn't say her name. So you don't know if she's actually called Faye or not, right?
Oh, I never even thought about that. No, because the old lady calls her Faye, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so her name is actually Faye. Because I was seeing this whole episode, I was like, dude, she's going to go the whole thing where she doesn't say her name, so Faye still doesn't know her true name.
But... Yeah. Faye Valentine is a fake sounding name, but so is every name in this show, so it doesn't seem like something she made up after the fact. I had something else to say important about this, Oh, I'll never forget. I probably explained this last time because I bring this up constantly, but it is really funny. If you go back and you watch the normies react to this moment, they completely miss it and have nothing to say, and the comments make fun of them very hard. It's not funny, but it is kind of hilarious. Well, so they just sit there stone-faced.
They don't really care about this final moment.
They don't react. It doesn't hit them. They don't realize why it would be important or deep or anything like that. It completely goes over their heads. It's pretty funny. I don't know why they didn't understand that it was Faye's not being cynical, and Faye's a deeply cynical person now, and she's very sad, and she doesn't even recognize her former self, and there's sadness in that. And it's man, when you were 15, you had so many hopes about what you were going to be and who you were going to be and who you were going to end up with, and if your 15-year-old self was to view you now, what would they think? They would probably not think nice things, and that's a little sad thing to reflect on. It's another time thing and personal regrets and crisis of where you're going and what you've been doing and all the things we've talked about with Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, it's pretty cool, Jarkey Bacon.
Pretty cool.
This is that S tier episode, even if 15 minutes of the episode is not exactly what's remembered about the episode.
So we're putting this easy S.
Easy S. I have no disagreements.
Yes.
But it is great. Speak Like a Child is, I don't know. If you said it was your favorite Cowboy Bebop episode, not episode, but moment, I would absolutely be it's one of the best moments in fiction. What are you talking about? This is great.
I remember. Yeah, I remember crying a little bit the first time I watched it. I didn't cry so much this time, but I just loved it. It just hit me. It was like because I completely forgot that everybody. It was like I think it's the fact that it's like this is her deepest, darkest secret. This is what she wants to know
and
the
it is
most.
very awkward that they're all seeing it, and they don't know how to react. It's like great.
Yeah, it's so good. I don't know how Cowboy Bebop does it, and I really wonder because I've heard that the recent Shinichiro Watanabe stuff is not good whatsoever. Really mid, supremely mid. This recent Lazarus one, I'm just like, who's screenwriting this dialogue? Because it conveys so much. They just use silence so well when the characters just don't speak and they stare at each other. It conveys so much emotion, and it's not common in anime really. I'm just like, what is what if he's directing it? Who's writing it? I guess is he the main writer on all this stuff or what?
Well, I have the names here, and let's say "Speak Like a Child." He is not in it. Oh no, hold on, he's in the. No, I was looking at the wrong episode. I would have to scroll up, but he is not credited in any of the 3 boxes. Now let me scroll up to the top of my Wikipedia page here and see what the 3 boxes are. I assume it's director, writer, and animation director. Hold on,
it's written by Akihiro.
Written, storyboard, and directed. He's none of them. Okay. For this episode, at least.
So this person's done Escaflowne. Some other
Let's
stuff.
watch Escaflowne.
It's Cowboy Bebop. 3 episodes. Hang on, let me see IMDb. Which 3 episodes did they do though?
Yeah, big moment.
I mean, so this is the person who wrote this episode. So
I feel like this never worked out. Like when I click on the guy that writes my favorite Madden episode, and I'm like, oh, this is the only really good one, truly exceptional one he wrote. And and each writer has one that's really good. It's not one guy wrote all the good ones.
Elegy.
That's the Jet episode.
Yeah, and they also did Wild Horses, so episode 19, the one we're about to do.
Yeah. Okay, that's the funny one.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the
spaceship
one.
Spaceship one. Okay, so that person has only been credited with those 3 episodes. And then they were a writer. They were a writer and written by most of the visions of Escaflowne.
Well,
and
my goodness.
They don't think they've done anything. What have they done? Oh, 2023 they did MF Ghost, but they didn't write anything for 10 years. This is the
could be writing
Gadgard,
in
and then
or something.
Gadgard, and then the movie. Basically, they wrote something they did a lot from 96. They did Escaflowne, and then to 2003 they did anime. Then they went away. Then they did a movie called Inazuma 11, which I've never heard of. And then they came back in 2023 as the writer on the MF Ghost series, which looks... I mean, the animation looks bad, but... I mean, it's a 7.
Well, it's possible that on the English-speaking internet we don't have all these credits or something like that, or they did something else. I don't know.
MF Ghost. It's a manga series adaptation. So anyway, I just think that's interesting. Yeah, anyway, it's just one of the things. It's man, they must have had what was about it anyway, I haven't actually seen Lazarus, so maybe everybody's complaining or whatever, and I think maybe they're complaining more about plot stuff than character stuff, because I've heard that in Lazarus, basically the concept is really good, but then basically the characters don't interact, and actually the best episode is when they don't care about the main plot or the main point. And instead just hang out. And so maybe that is...
I feel like this happens every time a new Watanabe anime comes out, where everybody's like, remember Cowboy Bebop, guys? This thing is going to be something we should all pay attention to. This happens every 4 years, I feel like. And then it comes out and nobody really cares. And they're like, I don't know how this is possible that he made Cowboy Bebop and also this. It's I don't know. He got lucky one time or something.
No, well, I mean, because Samurai Champloo people really like as well.
That is true.
Kids on the Slope, I think people also respect. Space Dandy, people
Carol
respect.
Carol and Tuesday.
And Terror in Resonance, I started as well. I need to continue that. But I think, you know what? I think it's also the animation style. Terror in Resonance is too kind of... I think Lazarus might be his one true stinker. Anyway, just...
I don't know.
Look at this poster of Lazarus. It's basically a Bebop clone. Oh my word.
Yeah, no, I've seen it, yeah.
Anyway. Wait, I'm yapping. Should we go into Wild Horses then?
True. Wild Horses, episode 19. This is the one I remembered being absolutely the most boring. And it's Spike gets like stranded because his ship is broken. He goes back to the guy that apparently made his ship, and they have some wacky hijinks. I didn't remember the subplot at all, which was that there's like a hacker guys going around and they like spear your ship and then hack you or something.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they have to launch an old space vehicle, a spaceship to like save the day or whatever. It was okay. I didn't think it was terrible or anything.
Yeah, it was another one.
Okay.
It was just a fun hangout episode. I liked the side character that was into baseball a lot. I like the two side characters, the two mechanics basically.
Yeah, they were cool.
They were fun. Yeah, I liked like all the mechanical layers of the different ships and stuff like that. I do think the whole space pirate subplot was pretty meh, but I like the idea. I liked how they described where like the swordfish came from, the ship and stuff.
Yeah. And I like that it's not connected to the rest of his backstory. Like it's a separate thing entirely.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is his bounty hunter backstory, not his syndicate backstory. There was some jank 3D in this, but overall, yeah, it was, I think it'd be tempting to put in maybe it is a B tier, but I think it's just A.
Yeah, I would probably say B tier.
I also think the reveal of it being like an old school spaceship, and I remember this old school. It must have been really big at the time, but I remember being like, "Oh, this is sick."
You did a big cutout towards the end there. So
sorry, like the old spaceship that they have. It's just like a cool spaceship. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it said Columbia on it, which I assume was like a real thing. I don't know much about space travel.
We've only had one A tier so far, so if we're putting 19 in here, I think we have some more A tiers coming up.
Yeah, probably. But hold on just a second. I ain't done any of my notes.
Yeah.
I remember this being the worst episode, but it was pretty cool. Well, I just kind of said that. Baseball is boring. True.
It is.
Picture bin pin-up ending. Oh, that was cute, where we don't really see the crash, but we see the picture. And it's funny because the kid mechanic is like complaining and freaking out that he's going to die, but in the picture, he's the one with like the thumbs up. So it's to show that like he was like really panicking. They crashed, they survived, and then he was immediately in a good mood, and the other guys were in like a bad mood. I thought that was really cute. His characterization was cute. And the old grumble guy, sure, it was pretty cool. But it was another one where it was like desert and somebody was like stuck, which was funny because they do that a little bit in Cowboy Bebop because I think Ed does that in that one episode too. So that was cute. Is that it for that one, Jacob? We just spent that was like a minute. Yeah. Wild Horses. That's a Rolling Stones song, Jarkey Bacon. I think. So I know stuff. Well, they're all something, right? They're all some sort of song reference. They're not like particularly songs. Like sometimes it's just like, what do you call it? Terms and stuff like LG just means like something to do. Ganymede LG, that's the planet. It don't make sense, you know. Oh, the next one might be contentious, Jarkey Bacon, because it's one I notoriously don't like as much as everybody else, and that's Pepe Le Plow or whatever.
Yeah.
The Dumb Frenchman, the Batman episode. Boring.
Do you still think it's boring?
It's fine. It's like a big fight scene, which is not going to be my favorite.
So this was written by a guy on Millennium Actress and Perfect Blue. So this was written by a dude that worked with Satoshi Kon. He's done a lot of other stuff as a writer, it seems like.
Famously, I gave Perfect Blue maybe like a 3-star out of 5. I didn't even like that movie, so.
This guy also wrote Gateway Shuffle and the Boogie Woogie Feng Shui. So,
wait, this is Yoshiaki Teikei, right?
This
is Saruki Murai.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
That other guy that I just said did the directing and the storyboarding, and he's also the co-director on the movie. That's why I recognized it.
So this one, I think it's quintessential A.
Okay.
I don't think. First of all, the animation is actually. This was the one I was thinking of when I was saying the animation is insane. It is like how they animate this main dude is crazy good. Like just like and like just in general. Like all the animation was really
clear they wanted to go hards with this one.
Yeah, and they used a lot of CG as well. I think what I liked was there was lots of funny little bits here in the scene. But I think it's just more like the whole like setting of the space land was just like really well
That was
done.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the whole
And like
environment.
the weird like Disney rip-off things, like the
Yeah,
goofy looking Donald Duck mesh up, who's
yeah,
actually also in the movie. He's one of the floats or something,
yeah.
which is funny.
This made us
Um,
burst out loud where like the Goofy turns up and then he just starts shooting Goofy and like
yeah,
no
he shot
Goofy
Goofy.
is, and then yeah they have this whole thing where they're on he's on
The
like
roller
a roller
coaster
coaster as well.
and the
Yeah, I just think it
penguin
was
ride or something.
it was just a really well produced episode. I mean, it is like one of those things like how is this guy like so strong and like Spike somehow survives, you know, it's and all
It
this
is kind of
stuff
like
is
the movie.
insane. Um,
Um,
but yeah, I'm looking through it again and there's one bit where like Ed's walking and then like to read what's on top of Ed's head, they like grab Ed's head but her like her feet are still moving. So like, cause she got the screen on top of it, so she's like walking around and like I just want to read the screen, so they grab her head and she just keeps on walking.
yeah.
I think there's another one where it was kind of like the jet one we talked about today, where it's like, oh, like they're actually in danger. This is actually like, I like how it
Yes.
switches up like the mood of the episodes a lot. I think that's another thing, like just in general. Like, okay, maybe I don't like the serious ones as much, but like I like that it has these ones every now and then, and then goofy ones every now and then. Like it's, yeah,
Yeah, because it is sort of the exact opposite of like the urban environments we were talking about last time or before, where it was like, oh, those are like cool little compact little like shopping things, but it's like a completely quiet urban street that's really dark and there's like creepy alleyways and stuff at the beginning, so it's like
yeah.
completely different.
When the art
Um,
direction is interesting and new.
yeah, going up and over the skyscrapers and stuff like that. Um, it's cool. The
Yeah, and the reveal that he's
It's
just
just
like a
every.
little
Some people
kid.
say this one is like, yeah. That one's yeah. Some people say this is like definitively the best episode, and that really pisses me off, Jarkey
What
Bacon.
really?
Yes, there is definitely a subsection. Like if you look up, I think I watched one of these videos like a few weeks ago where it was like a ranking of, or it was like the 10 best episodes, and I was like, he had left one out that I was like, oh, he's gonna put like Speak Like a Child at number one. It's like number one, Perla Fleur. This is just the coolest ever, he says, and I say,
No,
you're a
crazy.
loser. Take it outside.
I thought it was fun, but yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that would have been a fun thing.
The fact,
We should have done that. Like, I watched every episode of Cowboy Bebop and tier list them, kind of thing.
yeah, it
Yeah.
would be it's pretty good clickbait. The it was interesting to me that he was killing police officers. I didn't remember that, but that's
Mm.
interesting because he was like a police experiment guy or something. Um,
Hmm.
so he was like killing like high-ranking police people. When I had assumed it was like mobsters or something.
Mm.
But yeah, he has like he's scared of cats or something. It's when he was
Yeah.
experimented on. He was regressing in age and he was becoming a big baby. And there's nothing more scary than a baby or something. That was one of the lines. And yes, my other note is big theme park fight,
Mm.
which is pretty
I
cool.
also thought it was interesting. Is like he's basically only immune to bullets. It seems, but everybody just shoots him anyway.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
can float. Like I liked how he moved as well. It's like different. Like
yeah. He's very floaty.
But yeah, this one was like kind of like I guess it is the fever dream of Cowboy Bebop in a weird way. It's like this is just an empty place. Oh, and then like how Spike beats him in the end was kind of cool because he's got the mismatching eyes, and you don't know about the mismatching eyes yet, but it's like contrasted with the
Yeah, the
cat.
cat was mismatching eyes. Yeah,
Yeah. So like that was a cool thing.
yeah. And then he gets trampled.
Yeah, which
And
was
I
kind of
like the
funny.
music. The music is great in the
Yeah,
episode where it's the carnival song like that.
yeah,
I can hear it in my head now, Jockey Bacon.
yeah.
Um.
It's funny.
Oh,
It's very
I
funny.
was gonna say something else about this silly episode. Floaty backstory. What else have we just talked about? I forget. I don't remember these things, Jockey. But how am I supposed to keep up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You expect me to remember all my genius points?
Nope.
You gotta forget a few to love a few or something. Um, I am comfortable putting this one in A tier.
Cool. I've converted you. Fantastic. It's definitely not the
Well,
best. That's crazy. That's whatever. They say that.
yeah.
I mean, I guess if you didn't care about like the larger story, I can get not thinking like the last like two episodes are the
I
best or
think they just think it's a
whatever.
really cool fight scene. I think that's like the whole reason.
Oh, I see. I
Um,
mean, yeah, I
the
get that. Okay, there's some cool stuff.
yeah, it's definitely like probably the biggest fight. Well, I guess some of the Spike Vicious ones might be bigger. Um, I remember what I was going to say. This is, oddly enough, Jarkey Bacon, one of the episodes they tried to do in the live action show. So,
Crazy. Funny.
Probably not the one I would have chose. Probably a pretty difficult one to translate, I would say. And I remember thinking, because he did like they tried to do the floating around flying thing, and it looked very cheap.
Yeah.
So it's totally something. And the carnival place is not nearly as cool. It just looks like a very small little carnival.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's crazy. I mean,
I still like that show. I still said it was like a 3.5 star or something.
Yeah.
I was
Okay. Well, okay. I was gonna leave this for the end, but like, how does like this like whole wistfulness translate in the live action compared?
Oh,
to...
not at all. Not
at all.
one slight little bit.
Like, so
it's like if you expect Cowboy Bebop, you're gonna like hate it. It's like kind of like a funny show, kinda. And I think the character dynamics are pretty good.
Okay, cool. So
like my favorite episode is
if it
like
was given like a second season and more time to cook, or do you think like they just didn't have a handle on what it?
Well, I think it kind of already worked. Like I don't think the show is terrible. There is a twist at the end of the last episode that is like completely show original that does things with TV that I thought was legitimately terrible. So that was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't get a season 2. But I don't know. There are parts of it that I do like. Like I do think like the core dynamic of like Jet, Spite, and Faye is pretty good. I liked when they tried to do their own stuff. Like my favorite subplot was like, do you care that much? It's not even a big spoiler, Jarkey Bacon.
I listened to your discussion with Ari. I'm pretty sure. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like when Faye is like gay and she has like a girlfriend for like an episode, and then like they have to split up at the end, and that was like my favorite part. And it was like, oh, this is like cute and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I
Faye's
remember
character
that.
is like very different.
I thought it was interesting because I was like, yeah, I don't think Faye's ever shown any interest in women in this show, at least.
No, not at all.
Maybe with Julie a little bit, but that's more like her intrigue into Spike, I think. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we're leaving this one in the old A tier.
Yeah.
Now, Jarkey Bacon, I gotta switch my goddamn. I'm going flat, so I gotta go on my phone. All right.
Go phone time.
I'll be back in a.
It'll be back. So. Hello. How's it going, folks? It's just me now. Yeah. So Faye's gay. I don't know. People mustn't be happy with that because that means she's not into us men. Is that why it's not good? Yeah. Who knows?
My goodness.
He's back.
Hold on, I gotta go.
It sounds ever so slightly different.
I hope it's more than ever so slightly. I paid a lot of money for that old microphone.
Yeah, it is pretty noticeable.
So did you need to do a cut, Jarkey Bacon, or are we still on?
We're still on. We're going.
Oh, we kept the people going. This is terrific. So what's the name of the next episode while I get up my thing?
It's called Boogie Woogie Feng Shui, I think, right? Yeah.
True. Oh, yeah, this is the Laputa one. Have you ever seen Castle in the Sky, Jarkey Bacon?
Yes.
Okay, so this was like she looks exactly like the girl from that, right?
Yeah, she does. Okay, that's funny. Yeah.
And it's like a cool little Ghibli adventure episode.
I think she just meant she's just got the classic gypsy Japanese, what Japanese people think a gypsy looks like. Look, I think that's the idea.
Well, she looks like that cute little girl from Laputa, is all I'm telling you. Yeah. The people usually say, in contrary to the last episode, that this is like obviously the worst episode in the whole show, and I don't agree at all. I think it's like an A-tier episode. I like this one.
Interesting. I thought, okay, first of all, the thing that, because they called it feng shui, me and my flatmate just started bursting out laughing when they said feng shui the first time, because we only know feng shui now as like the thing where people like examine rooms and be like, this has got bad feng shui. You need to like reorganize your room in like a better way to like have good feng shui.
No, I don't know anything about any.
Feng shui is kind of known as like hocus pocus, like organizing your house in like a better order to help like the chakras flow through or something like that. I probably butchered it to anybody who does believe in it. I'm very sorry, but I think it's probably been like bastardized by the internet, so you probably agree with it. Yeah, I guess the only thing weird about this episode is like, of course, it's the older guy and a young girl, and I don't know why they were pushing it so hard. It was like, oh, Japan, here we go.
Yeah. I feel like more than Japan, it's just like an old people thing, right? I feel like there's a lot of plot points in movies and stuff, especially old movies, where it's like, oh, the young girl shows up and she reminds the like cynical old man why women are good or whatever. And it usually is this where he like thinks about it for a second, but they don't actually ever get together or anything like that. But it's sort of like the energy of a young woman is different to the cynical bitches that are the same age as me.
This is ridiculous.
Though Jet doesn't really give that energy.
No.
But I guess I feel like it is that another. It's kind of a separate trope, but it's like when like the girl you haven't seen this family in like 10 years, and the girl is like a young woman now, and it's like strange. People even talked about that with like Arya Stark in Game of Thrones, where at the beginning of that show, Maisie Williams is like 11 years old, and in the last season she has like a sex scene where she gets naked, and it's like I remember a lot of people saying like, oh, this is really weird that she's like hot now and she's like having a sex scene. I remember a lot of older like YouTubers saying that. Now Maisie Williams is like 2 years older than me, so I was not in trouble at all, Jarkey Bacon, but it seems to be outside of the just straight Mushoku Tensei undertones. This trope seems to have other sort of implications like that. But it is definitely weird,
which is kind of weird, like that, like as you said, like, oh, as a family member, it's like, oh, I knew you as a kid, and now I'm 40, and now you're 20, you know. Like, that is kind of creepy uncle status in that way as well. Where it's like...
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But the great Jet, you know, he didn't do it.
Yeah, he didn't do it. Well done. Well done, Jet.
Though also, she's probably like 16, probably not even 18. So, anyway. And it is funny because, like, it is funny that Spike and Jet are there. Not Spike and Jet. No. Spike and Faye are there to like make fun of him for being into the younger girl, but it's not in like a moral like you're a pedophile way. It's like in a what a loser, you like age gap way. Like when you see like a 35-year-old with like a bimbo with like a 79-year-old going to die guy. Yeah, it's like that sort of scolding, not like the moral scolding of.
And they almost seemed. I think
there
was more like also because he had like a relation, like you're like, oh, they were almost shipping it and they thought it was funny.
Yeah,
like oh it was like funny to them the idea that Jet could have a girlfriend or anything like that because he's also like against women basically or whatever, and then he's just like because they know Jet and then like it's just like I mean I do think their personalities match quite well like because she is very like he is very righteous and he has like a pure way of looking at things Jet a lot of the time, and he feels like he's less cynical than the rest of them basically. Like by predisposition, which is interesting.
That's like a whole separate trope now that I'm thinking about it. Like in Mad Men, there is like an older guy who like kind of is immature and like he marries like a much younger girl at one point and like leaves his like of age wife. And it's like a thing where it's like he just wants to be a fucking kid or whatever. He's an idiot. So it's like it's that trope of like there are some people that like an older guy that always tries to fit in type of way would probably find it like very spiritually cathartic or something to be with a younger person because it will make them feel younger type way. It probably just reminds you of being young when it's like, oh, there's possibilities and whatever.
I think what gets me is that it's never done the other way around. It's never an older woman and a younger guy, which I think is like, in a weird way, aside from obviously moral qualms, it's like I think that what almost rubs me the wrong way more. It's like, why is it always an older guy and a younger girl? It's like
old women like it doesn't. I don't think it tracks onto reality. I guess I feel like it's very like old women don't usually get anything out of dating a younger guy. They're usually just like more stupid than the already stupid older guys they have to deal with, and that's like not like. Doesn't have any of the thematic stuff that would even imply that. Sometimes it happens for a joke. I know that Licorice Pizza movie or whatever was kind of like that. But that was like controversial just for that, I think. So,
I mean,
it very rarely happens.
I mean, definitely like trophy husbands or boyfriends exist for sure, right? So.
Well, yeah, that they sort of exist. Like I know in You season 5 there was like a big thing about one of the trophy husbands. Where he was like a footballer or something, or a retired footballer, and the business lady like had married him or something. But I feel like the trophy husband is always cheating. That's like part of that trope, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Which was true in You season 5. Spoiler alert. So I guess that happens sometimes, but that's like a very modern show, and that would feel like a more modern trope. I don't know. Do trophy husbands like exist that often? I don't know.
I'm trying
When
to
you
find
get
the
a
Reddit
husband,
thread now,
Jarkey
but there
Bacon,
was
let us
one.
know.
Ask me anything. There was a guy. Maybe it's on AMA. I hope it was. I think it was like I was paid for 19 years by a middle-aged woman, like to date her, whatever, something like that. Ask me anything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Week. Oh yeah, I've been with a wealthy married woman as a paid companion since I was 19. AMA. It's a locked thread now. I'll send it to you. It was one of those things where I didn't have a long enough toilet time to fully digest this amazing masterpiece. Yeah. Okay, so this Boogie Funk Woogie Funk Shui. I'd say I'd probably agree with most people. It would be. I don't think I've really cared much about. I guess I liked the Faye. I liked Faye and Spike making fun of Jet. I liked Jet's relationship, but I guess at the end it was just not the most satisfying for whatever reason.
It does have a very weird ending.
Yeah.
I kind of like the environments of it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they were like running around and stuff. I like that.
Was that the same graveyard
yeah.
that Faye and that Julia and Spike meet at as well?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. What's that Mars?
Yeah, because I think it was in the one common place with the blue in the city. Jet has a bunch of like monologues that I thought were cool. They were like a framing device, clearly referencing some sort of genre of film.
Yeah.
I didn't get it too entirely, but I thought it was pretty cool. The other note I have here is they use Waltz for ZZ at some point towards the end, I think, which is one of my favoriteest tracks. But they use it the best in episode 26, of course. We'll get to it. And my other note is it's funny that two of the most iconic Bebop images come from probably the two least liked episodes. Spike and Faye disgruntled smoking outside, and Spike giving up and smoking in the ship. Oh, so from this episode, there's the shot of Jet kicks them out for smoking, and
funny.
they have to smoke on like the thing, which is like when you Google Cowboy Bebop, that's one of the first images that shows up. And then the other one, which I think is from the Wild Horses episode, was Spike like giving up and like he smokes and exhales on the ship.
Yes,
and that's like two, and they're both from like probably the two least liked episodes, which is kind of funny.
I think also this is what I noticed with the movie as well. There's so many like songs, screenshots that I'd seen so many places. Like, oh, that's where it's from. You know, I can't even remember it now.
Yeah,
but,
I think the group image that we're looking at is one I had always seen, but I didn't know where it came from. But it's obviously from the movie. It's just cute. But that's really all I have to say about this episode. It was a cute. I like Castle in the Sky. What a movie. This episode was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
So we can put it in B tier, I suppose, even though I was here to defend it.
Nice. And B tier's
not
bad, folks.
Next. Of course not. Now the next episode's title is
Cowboy Funk.
Oh my goodness, it's this episode, which is another one I remember not liking too much, but I thought it was pretty good this time.
You know what? This was one where I got the reference. You know, you're mentioning all these things about reference to movies and all this stuff, and you know, I just didn't get it. And you know what? It makes so much sense that like these people just love movies and they put it in there because this like the songs, the soundtrack in this was like pure Western, and because basically, because we revealed at the beginning of the episode, the girl I dated. So if I didn't date this girl, I wouldn't like this episode as much. There we go. We can thank her for this, right? Because she loved Clint Eastwood, and her favorite movies were what's called the Dollar Trilogy, which is basically it's the Good, the Bad, and Ugly, and the Good, Bad, and Ugly is the final. And I haven't actually watched that movie. Yeah, but I watched the first two with her.
And you never will.
Yeah, no, I will never watch it. But like, it was amazing how spot on the soundtrack was. And I remember really hating Cowboy Sam or whatever his name is.
Yeah, well, I can't even remember.
I just hated it so much. I hated his guts the first time I
What is
watched
his
it.
name? Jesse? No, Jesse.
I'm gonna find it.
Todd,
Andy.
no, Frank. Andy.
It's like
what a shitty name.
Yeah, it's almost like Woody, you know, like Andy. It's like Toy Story, but I think Toy Story hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And then Teddy Bomber, it was so funny. I loved Teddy Bomber.
Teddy Bomber
so
was a
much.
cool guy.
Yeah, see, this one was like, I don't know why. I thought it was more funny because like Teddy Bomber as a recurring character where he was in a teddy. Like, why is Teddy Bomber in a teddy? Or it's more.
He's on theme. He's on brand.
Yeah.
It was also super funny when Faye goes to like his like place or whatever, and it's like
a
hideous cowboy thing. That was really funny.
Yeah. And then you got like they have all their like disguises and stuff. Oh, I found it. I found the screenshot. The screenshot I was looking at earlier was them all looking around the computer.
Oh yeah.
And it's like this is like it's another screen grab that is like quintessential. And it's like, yeah. Also. Yeah.
Wait, were you dating one of these 45-year-old rich girls? Why
no,
does this
I
go
wasn't.
like Westerns, Jarkey Bacon?
This
is crazy.
No, she was French-Italian cinephile.
That's insane.
She was.
Oh my god, I could
age.
never date somebody that like talks about media. I would kill myself. My girlfriend likes stupid rom-coms. I mean, oh my goodness, Jarkey Bacon. So
is it the same one that I know of, or is it a new one?
Well, probably. It's like the most popular. Which one are you saying?
A Kiwi.
No. No, the girlfriend. I thought you were gonna say the movie. But no. It's the same one.
It's the same one. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
I thought you were gonna say, oh, it's this.
I need updates. I don't know if this. No one's gonna watch this Fountain episode, Carl. How's?
Well, no. We can talk about this afterwards.
Okay.
But
yeah. Anyway.
Hint, that's the secret Patreon episode. Nobody's allowed to see.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, to be fair, I still found Andy really annoying.
Though.
But like when you have like when
Jess, that's kind of the joke.
When Jess like the Rastafarian guy, he's like, and then like and then Faye gets dressed up as well. I like it when they put it in different costumes as well, and Faye's just like, here is my cleavage, and then everybody else is like dressed up as like Native Americans. This is another thing. Like I feel like. There's a lot of they like their Native American stuff, but like to me when I see, I'm like, that's probably problematic, but because the Japanese is okay.
yeah. Well, because it's supposed to be like Cowboy Bebop, right? So you have to have the cowboys and the Indians, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Teddy Bomber.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and the ugly interior design on his yacht, and he has just like. He's like, terrible. It's like he's an America-boo, as they say. Like he loves America so much. Sure. He's like, I want to be a cowboy.
But then he becomes a weeaboo at the end. It's crazy.
And it's interesting. I think does Faye actually find him handsome and stuff? And then she like talks to him for a second and like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, well, she's like riling up Spike by being like, he's way cooler than you. He's prettier than you. And I'm gonna go date him now. Yeah. And then she's like, oh no.
Yeah. And there's another gag where this is another thing we haven't talked about, but Big Shot in general, the duo.
Oh, they're great.
They are so good, and we'll get onto the movie because it's coming up. Actually, we'll be after this episode where I watched it, but like she has like a big list, and because Teddy Bomber's like got like he's like an anti-capitalist, I think, and then she didn't have time to read it out because like the anti-capitalist covered by capitalism and stuff.
Yeah.
Poor Teddy Bomber. The reason why he took down the tallest buildings because of they're like signifying of like capitalism.
Yeah, the capital greed. The funniest part was that whenever Andy would show up, he would do the whistle thing, and then he would show up like 3 seconds later because it's cool. But one time it was just a guy whistling, and I thought that was really clever.
Yeah. But the thing is, that is the Western thing where there's the whistling, and then it's got that down. It's like this like spring sound. That's like so like that's pure like at least Good and Bad and Ugly reference. It felt like it honestly, if you listen to the Good and Bad and the Ugly soundtrack, it'll sound exactly like super similar. It's so similar, and I love that. It's like such a good homage.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
The stinger at the end is "See you, Space Samurai," which is funny that they changed it just
Yeah.
for Andy.
And I love
But
his
yeah,
horse
it's
as well. His horse being like the best thing ever.
yeah.
Is Space
He got to
Samurai.
keep. Oh yeah, and he comes up the elevator that one time, even though the whole building's destroyed.
Yeah. I think is this A tier?
Yeah, we can put it in A tier.
Let's go. All right. So
Um,
now, do we talk about the movie?
Well, this is interesting because for some reason you watched it between 22 and 23, which I
Yes.
feel like you should watch between 23 and 24.
No.
But I watched,
Because in 23, Big Shot is cancelled. And Big Shot is in. I
Oh,
was
that
trying to
makes
figure out like
sense.
why on earth did they put it between 22 and 23? And it's because Big Shot has a big thing in the movie, which is like the best version of Big Shot ever. They're like
It was
yeah.
pretty funny.
So
They're on the horses, though. Okay, we can talk about the movie now then, because I did just look at my notes for this next episode, and the big one is Big Shot got cancelled. So
yeah.
I don't honestly, even though the movie is super long, I don't think we'll talk about it for
Yeah.
too much longer
There's
than a
just some
normal episode, right?
various things. So, what do you know about the movie beforehand? Okay, so I knew. Okay, two things I knew. I knew that I like a girl that can kick my ass meme, and I knew.
Terrible line, by the way.
I also know the first scene because that was the one that was like, oh, Ruby copied it. I think that's basically what I noticed. Like, Ruby.
Okay, so
from the H Bomber guy
I knew
video on like why Ruby's bad, basically.
Yeah. I think I've watched part of that video before. I knew. Now, I actually, when I heard it, I remembered the girl line, a girl that can kick my ass line. But I remembered that scene. Like, I've seen the screenshot and the footage of him fighting with the
Yeah,
mob
I feel like I've
before.
probably seen the scene as well before, yeah.
I had seen the fight on the train before, not in full, but just like clips of it. Because and the one shot of Spike holding the gun on the train is like a very famous Cowboy Bebop shot.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, it's like on like it's like a rap album thing, I think, too, at some point, probably on like SoundCloud unofficially. Actually, no, I think I'm thinking of just an AMV to a Joey Badass song, which uses that. I knew the guy's name. No, actually, I couldn't remember the guy's name, but I knew the guy's name before, and it was Vincent. I was trying to remember it. I was like, and I kept saying like Vicious, but no, that's the other guy. And I was like, oh, it's Vincent.
Yeah.
There were other things.
Oh,
too,
there was another thing I
nothing
remember
big.
in the cartoon Cypher. If you remember that YouTube channel, I just found it. They used a clip from this movie to talk why like translation is impossible because there's a thing he had where Vincent says, "Oh, I'm in a place between heaven and hell, and it's purgatory." But the Japanese version is like deliberately, like it's a double meaning of what his line is saying, but in English it doesn't make sense. So they had to choose either one or the other to translate as the explicit meaning of what he was saying. Something like that.
That's interesting.
I was like, I need to find that clip again because I was like, that's a super interesting thing about like translation, basically. But
yeah, I also knew that there was something about like the butterflies or something, and I remember like some YouTube video talking about how that was like the coolest thing ever. But other than that, I don't think I really knew much about it. Like, until I saw the poster on Letterboxd, like, a few days before I watched it, I didn't know there was a new girl character in it at all. Electra?
Can I also say, like, yeah, Electra, which I thought sounded like the Pokemon. I can't remember.
Electrike is a Pokemon, but I think there is an Electra is also a Daredevil sidekick, right? Like a superhero?
Maybe, okay, Cowboy Bebop movie, because I thought this poster sucked.
Oh yeah, it kind of does.
I was like, this is like the least inspired thing. This would never get me to want to watch this movie ever.
Yeah, which is funny because I'd seen Cowboy Bebop like 4 times and I'd never watched this movie. It really just does feel like another like good episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of unique things. There's a bunch of ways that it's like different that I don't really like, that I think works for the movie, but doesn't really fit in the world generally. And I don't know really how much I should care about that. Like the fact that the city feels so big and so populous feels wrong to me. Like even though we do get establishing shots of cities in Cowboy Bebop all the time, to me it's like always, it feels like barren and that like not that many people live around. And then like the world's on its like dying days or something. But here it felt like a massive, populous, living, breathing city that like entire lifetimes of stuff is happening here every day. Like
I remember like at the beginning, there's like a cool. Well, actually, the movie does this a bunch where it's like cool like compilation shots of just people and like different looking people,
Hmm.
and it's like a very diverse movie. And I was like, well, that doesn't really fit in Cowboy Bebop either.
Yeah,
Like everybody,
the title
it
screen's
also.
completely rotoscoped. I'm pretty sure of like
Oh,
random, like
okay.
really realistic looking people. Like they're at markets. It's like very New York focused. It feels like. That's why, like, if you look,
Interesting. Okay.
if you watch the title sequence again, it just looks a little uncanny because they're like so well animated, but it's got that kind of like,
I don't think I noticed this
yes,
because for whatever reason now I'm getting a flashback to like a stream I did recently where somebody brought up that the movie was like rotoscoped or something, but I completely had not thought about it until this very moment.
no, I think I popped into the Discord and mentioned it was rotoscoped or something.
Oh yes, that might have been you, Jarkey Bacon. My
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. I want to say, okay, there's a couple things. This might be my, I think maybe the best looking anime movie. Is that like a bad
Okay.
thing to say? Like it's animated,
It
like
looked good.
it looks good,
It
but it's
reminded me of
animated so
Pokemon
well.
movies,
It's
kind of.
so like yes, I think I love the aesthetic. That's part of it. But like I think
Oh, you cut out for like 2 seconds.
oh I
For me.
love the what was I saying? I love the aesthetic, the time, like kind of like the fuzzy edges
Yeah.
on a lot of the on like kind of like on just the whole aesthetic. I just love how this style of anime, and it's just animated so well. And like I didn't notice it until I went from this back to the TV show, where I
That
was
would
like,
be yeah.
it
That
was
would be funny.
crazy like the difference, and it didn't even matter that much. But like, um, yeah, I think what I say this,
Oh my God, you did do that, huh? That I don't like that at all. Well, actually, when I was watching it, I was like, I wish I had like watched this movie like 2 years after I'd seen the show, because then it would look the same, I think, in my head as what
mm,
the show looked, and I wouldn't have this hang up that it looks a little different, and
yeah.
I don't know, and
Like
I don't
Faye
really
looks
like
a
that
little
it doesn't
different. I
fit.
think Spike looks basically the same. All the male characters looks basically the same.
No, I think all the characters looked the
Yeah.
same. It was just sort of like the overall aesthetic. And I think it was particularly in some of those opening sequences. I also think Vincent like looks like a One Piece character, which is funny because
Yeah,
he's
he
like so
does.
tall and
I
slim.
would yeah.
Um,
Okay, so yeah, so first thing, the animation in this movie is insanely good. Like I think it's not just for like the big. Of course, there's that big spaceship chase scene at the end where you're like, dude, this is insane.
oh, that was like my least favorite part. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my God, this is going
absolutely.
on for like
It's going
five
on. It
minutes.
goes on for too long, and I'm like, but like just like at the start where like, Faye's tracking down the ship and she's like bopping her head to it, like to music and
Yeah,
stuff, and it's
yeah,
just
that was cool.
small things. Like
They
there's all these things like do so well. What I'll say is, I think basically before the train scene, this movie is like a 10 out of 10 for me, and then it goes on for like half an hour too long after that.
Yeah, I did also think. I don't think it. I think the next act is good too, but it did have some slow parts in the
Yes,
second half.
it it is still good. It's still good, but like yeah, it's just dragged out a little bit, and it's made into something more like, I guess, a bit more of a climax. But I didn't really like. I didn't care
Yeah.
that much about Vincent.
No, not
Like
really. He
um,
definitely was a bit like
yeah,
whatever.
and Electra. I mean, yeah, I liked her until she started talking more because I think her voice acting was quite bad in the dub. I don't know something about
It
it.
was. I always thought it was good, but it was always teetering on being a little bit bad.
Yeah.
But it never like fell for me. Actually, because I think I know the scene you're going to talk about, but I think I liked her the most when she was talking to Spike in the cell.
Mm.
But the whole time I was like, this is so close to like being not good.
Yeah, no,
Like the
that
way
was
they were acting.
fine. I think it was more, maybe it's because like I assumed more about her character because she's just like super straight laced. Like she felt like she had basically no depth, like no mystery or
Yeah.
intrigue to her character, unlike loads of the other. Unlike like
Well, I think the intrigue was supposed to be she's like cool and like
yeah.
pretty.
Oh yeah, she definitely was. I mean, I thought I was like, she's like, yeah. I was like, dang, she looks great. But like then,
She kind of looked
but then
like
it's like I guess like I don't know, maybe she was just a bit too earnest. It felt weird for Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I felt like they were trying
a
to get it
little
on
bit,
the
yeah.
main crew because it was like because normally in these episodes when you have these extra characters, like you don't get to learn that much about them or you don't spend as much time with them, so you don't
Yeah.
think they might be on the crew. But even like say like Heavy Metal Queen, right? like when there's an old friend, like they still feel like, oh, this person has history. But here it's like I feel like I found out everything about this character way too quickly at the end, and it wasn't that interesting at all, or something. I don't know.
It's true. She doesn't. She like it seems like we got everything out of this character. There's not like a history. It's not like that snapshot thing we were talking about earlier, where it's just like felt like we got the whole story of this person's life.
Yeah, I will say I love the Moroccan part. Like that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Like,
and again, it was another one of those like little urban corners or something where there's a lot going on, and like there's the shop that you go in like through the little thing in the back. It also reminded me a lot of like Uncharted 3 towards the end, which is in a Arabian sort of setting. Which is really cool.
What you said about like the city being full, I didn't notice that as like a bad thing. I think it just gave more feeling to the world than normally. Like basically like the episode, you know, I was just saying earlier, like, but Cowboy Bebop isn't very explicit about the world. It just kind of shows you. But this, because it has more time to flesh it out, really. Like,
yes,
it was very much about the ISP and the army come in. I was like, what's going on here?
There's no, like some of these things, like I think the city like breaks Cowboy Bebop for me, but I'm choosing just not to care about it. Like I feel like it is way too much, and I feel like the fact that there are even armies in the world of Cowboy Bebop is like that like breaks it for me too.
That's funny.
It's like
that doesn't change anything for me.
Yeah, it's I don't know why. It's just like there's like the police and the syndicates, and like it feels like because it's like the cowboy thing where it's like the old west. There's not much out here, but like we've got a society that kind of functions, but there's like sinister underpinnings and stuff like that because there's the syndicate about and bounty hunters and all the such. But this felt like there is like a New York City here where like everything happens and there's massive parades and stuff like that. I don't know. When I'm thinking of cities, I'm thinking of like the Jupiter Jazz City where it's like
kind of
just
empty
men
and
like,
desolate. I would say like the whole parade thing was like so like American, like on the focus where it kind of almost like how this is just New York. This isn't like a fantasy sci-fi city. So
see, I guess I didn't really besides the Twin Tower thing. And even though I just described it as New York, it didn't strike me as like too American. But now that you say it, like
this parade stuff is so US.
Yeah.
Like, and definitely at that time, I feel like we've all seen like I've never seen it in real life, but you've all seen like I don't know, like Winnie the Pooh getting like exploded and killing kids or whatever, like getting on kids.
Yes, there's a big one in Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie, and in the Ninja Turtles 2009 movie, there's a big thing with floats.
Yeah.
I remember it from the movie, and in the PS2 video game, you had to jump over the floats, and I couldn't do it as a kid. It pissed me off. But yeah, now that you say it, I guess that is an American thing. I guess I'd never considered that it was a specifically American and a specifically New York thing. That's interesting. But that is true.
I think... So another thing I like early on is because like all the characters are kind of used because they're trying to figure out this information on this thing.
I like that,
and that's so fun. And then like when Ed, also a character I liked, even though he wasn't around much, was the British black guy who loved video games. I don't know. I just thought I thought his voice acting. His voice actor was like for a 2000 show, like choosing that style of like. I feel like nowadays with like I think British black culture becoming a bit more prevalent, it's more common to kind of come up with the guys that are like bit more Londoner, you know, like that, like Phoenix from Valorant, I think is, or they're in loads of video games now. But this is like 2001, it's kind of early, and then the Moroccan voice acting, I feel like when he's I love when it introduces the guy, he's like they're speaking Arabian to each other. I don't know what language they speak exactly, like Arabic, I guess.
The letters looked Arabic. But I don't know exactly.
Language, official language is it's Arabic, and then I love like the small things like when like Spike's following him around and he's getting greeted by everybody, so you know, oh, this guy's a big guy in the community and they're saying stuff to him and I don't understand, but it's like it's so well done. I mean, it's like the establishing of like an interesting.
Oh my god, that's not in Cowboy Bebop. That's crazy.
And even like Jet, as I just mentioned earlier, Jet watching the Western with his mate, which is a consistent character, which I liked. But it was like a interesting place, and then like just the whole environment design and stuff. And I think that was really cool. And then it kind of like Spike gets shot and it slows down, and then it kind of they got this big final thing where I guess like you get the reveal, and then it's just like, oh, now I have to, I guess. I have to take the main plot seriously. I guess that's you know. There were
And
good bits,
they kind of
bits, but yeah.
pin it. They kind of try to pin it on like him and Spike are like the same guy, and they have the same problem. With like the dreams and waking up from it, and like wanting to die type of stuff.
Yeah. How is it Mal Cowboy Bebop movie? Like, how is this movie rated?
On Letterboxd it had 4.1, so that was pretty good.
That's pretty good, right? And then what Cowboy Bebop? Yeah, this has got an 8.35. Yeah, so it's interesting because I think this brings up a broader
It's not talked
question
about that much.
Of like, it's not talked about much. It is referenced a bit. Like, he's got like one of the biggest Cowboy Bebop. I like a woman who can kick my ass. I think that's a pretty famous Bebop meme. But I think what with it is like, as Trixie Golden Witch, she said that like Cowboy Bebop's never been able to make a franchise out of itself, really, and it's like this is the one really successful version. And it's interesting because, but on the other hand, like it's actually a really really good movie for Cowboy Bebop. And I just know with so many anime movies, after the series has ended, often they suck. Like, I know the FMA ones are kind of bad. The ones with Code Geass people don't like. I don't know what people think. I guess maybe like the One Piece and like the unofficial like My Hero ones people kind of like.
Well,
they're never really exalted that much. And then you got then you got Demon Slayer, which are known to be good, but that's because it's literally adapting the manga. So you've got to watch the movies to continue on. Like this one is like completely extra, like no.
Well, I think it's because with those, and this is the same with like the Naruto movies and the Dragon Ball movies, and even to a lesser extent the Pokemon movies, is that like those all have overarching stories, and the fact that it is like filler, these movies, and they don't affect it at all usually, is usually like a big demeaning thing of like, you don't have to watch the movies, whatever, they're not even that good. With Cowboy Bebop, obviously, most of them are episodic episodes, so it like slots in better, I think.
Yeah.
It's probably why why more people have seen it, and like why more people care, I guess.
I'm not sure. Would you say it's like a 9 out of 10, or would you give it an 8 out of 10? What did you give it on Letterboxd?
On Letterboxd, I gave it a 4, but I was going to give it a 9 until like the last bit. Like not the last bit, but the last like 40 minutes.
Yeah. It was on like 10 out of 10 terrible. I was like, I love this so much. It's just like
it sounds like you liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's basically all about Cowboy Bebop I really like, but it's just like better animation basically, and the
beginning was great. It was like so quick. Like I started it last night just to be like, oh, so I don't have to watch it all tomorrow, and like I won't like feel to like spend all of my last day of holidays watching this Cowboy Bebop movie. And like I was planning on watching like 50 minutes or something. I did watch like 45, and I think 52 minutes. Yeah. So I was like, this was crazy. And like every scene, I'd be like, oh, I'm curious about this. I'm not going to stop it yet.
It's just really well done, and then it kind of draws out a little bit, and there's some weird stuff. I think overall it's really, and also animation is just insanely good. Like it is, and the thing is, it's like it's got very little CG. If it does, it generally blends in really well. Like, and it feels like almost a bit of an end of an era, because I don't think like, I don't know, maybe I've just not watched enough anime movies with like this lens on, but like I guess I kind of only put it to like Ghibli doing this, and then Demon Slayer wouldn't really do this much character.
I mean, I don't think
for the fights.
Like,
but
do you think? Have you seen Ghost in the Shell? Do you think this movie looks better than Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, I think it's better animated than Ghost in the Shell. Probably, yeah.
Interesting. I guess with Ghost in the Shell, I'm just thinking. Yeah, it's like singular bit.
Yeah, of course. Like you have like a main fight scene when it's like invisible.
Yeah, when her arm rips off and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, and the water one, true. And when she's underwater, but that is like there's not too much animation there, I guess. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as End of Ave in terms of like visuals.
I'll have to, I can get that in terms of like visuals, but like I guess the animation quality as well. Like just how it just feels like, but it still felt like Cowboy Bebop. Like I hadn't seen like a episode for like a week, and I wasn't like, oh my word, this looks completely different. This isn't right. Like
they definitely looked great. Definitely. I guess my only other example would be like the fourth Rebuild film, which I think looks just about as good as End of Ava.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to watch those rebuilds and stuff. We'll get there.
Well, Jarkey Bacon, we might be doing that soon.
Were there anything else here that you thought was a bit So there was the stuff between Vincent and Faye, which I thought was like, of course, Faye's the one that's got um, caught.
Hold on, you cut out a little bit. Vincent and Faye.
Well, of course, the bit like I guess anything like else, but like I guess you had Spike and Lex, like they kind of have a thing going.
Yeah, I liked their theater scene. I did think they were like supposed to weirdly parallel each other, which is interesting because the show always does this like Spike Faye maybe thing. I think the show's answer is always no, but they always like to
Toy with it.
like position you to think about it. Where like they'll get tied with different a different pairing, and the contrast is supposed to make you think about each other. Even though they never even like nearly go there ever. That's sort of like an interesting separate thing, and it's more of a thing outside of this movie.
Also, I weirdly got sad when Vince, like, I didn't really care about it, and then Vincent said, "Oh, I just remembered you," and then he dies, and I was like, "Oh, I'm actually weird. That worked." I feel so stupid, like so simple that it worked. I guess, like very not.
Yeah,
very...
she got like a little bit of closure, and that's like.
But then I felt like really sad. I was like, "Oh, we could have made this work out, and this wasn't needed at all." Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was a little crazy. Oh, I was gonna say something. Oh, I did. I recognized like structurally that Faye was about to like get removed from the movie when she was like going into the room, and I remember like figuring that out before it happened. And I remember just thinking about like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, where like 40 minutes before the end, Hermione just gets like paralyzed or whatever, and she's out for the rest of the movie. And I was like, oh no, this is happening to Faye, which it kind of did end up happening, though. She comes back for the climax. It's funny that in the next one, then that happens to Ron. So we can just like do singular character bits, like we can do Ron and Harry, and then Hermione and Harry. Silly Harry Potter.
I felt pretty smart where like he kissed her, and I was like, well, when he like licks his blood, I was like, oh, this is kind of dumb. This is like that edgy anime
creepy guy, yeah,
like classic thing.
Because and then he kissed her, and you're like, oh no, a teased rape scene. But then you're like, but
oh
yeah,
no,
I
it's
also
actually saving her life. So
yeah,
and I'm like,
because we cut away too quickly. And like, so, if it was an attempted rape scene, we would have hung with it a little more to get the tension up.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, the implication that he like wanted to spare her.
I think it's just because he thought she was hot. I think, right? Like that was it.
Kind of.
He just wanted.
But it also felt like a bit of a Jupiter Jazz situation where it was like Faye and Ren, and then she gets tied up again.
Yeah, I thought. Okay, I think maybe it doesn't make sense in world with his motivation. Maybe he understood, but like there was points where he was like, oh, like he doesn't have a memory of when he was experimented on, and Faye doesn't know her past life yet either.
Yeah,
right.
There.
And so is that parallel there? It's like, oh, they could work because they have the same background, and she would understand him and stuff like that.
Hey, Gren was also an experiment.
True. So I think that makes sense, but I don't know why Vincent would know that. And then there's the whole scene where he like cuts her shirt open basically, and I'm just like, where's this going here? I'm like,
I think that was there for what we call the fan service, Jarkey Bacon. Woohoo!
Well, the fans were served.
I think now I didn't exactly frame by frame, but I think there's another shot where she like the guy gets shot, stabbed, and she like cuts herself. I think there is like a frame of nipple there. I think I spotted it, Jarkey Bacon, so that's kind of crazy because she had to like roll over a bunch, and it did like their shirt was already cut and stuff, so that was pretty epic. I was wondering because there was a shower scene moment earlier in the movie, and I was like, I feel like if Faye's nipples were in this movie, I would have seen them before. So I deduced that probably wasn't going to happen. Do you really care about seeing anime boobs, Jarkey Bacon? Yuck. I mean, a little bit, but like...
I just thought it was more like why are we having like kind of like a sexual assault scene in here?
Yeah.
That was more my question. I was
like Faye
that doesn't feel very Bebop to me, I guess.
Yeah. Well... Yeah, I guess that never really happened to Faye in the show. Faye was very like, this is possibly even more problematic, but Faye was very like nonchalant about it. She was like, man, what if a peeping Tom comes by? And I was like, oh, I thought we were like supposed to think you were about to get raped, but you don't seem to be worried about that at all.
I think like you can kind of make that work where it's like, maybe it is traumatizing, but she doesn't deal with the trauma well because she's just like that, you know, like, and so she hides it and stuff.
To bring it back to the Gren situation again, I felt more like that for the Gren situation where she was really depressed afterwards.
More so than here. Here it was just like, phase boobs are out. This is cool. This is
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah. And because the extra animation budget is going to good use.
It is. True. Some of my notes here, Jarkey Bacon, have art style difference. We've talked about that. Music video intro licensed this time. It did seem like a licensed movie, and the budget would have gone into there a little bit. A licensed music piece, I think. The city looks too big and populous, and some varied type of people. True, we talked about that already. Bad guy looks like a One Piece. Well, I already talked about that. Second Ebola Bebop moment. True,
Yes.
Jarkey Bacon. We freaked out last time because they mentioned Ebola, and they did it again here.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about we freaked about the first time, and I forgot that we talked about it like that.
Yeah. Ed is meowing a lot. She did do that.
Yeah, Ed's great.
That was the extent of my notes on the movie. I kind of stopped taking notes probably like 30 minutes in.
I don't think I have anything else to say on the movie. It was a good time overall, but yeah, my main thing was like really good early on, and then I just think dragged out a bit, and it became okay, which is fun.
Yeah,
like, all good.
I think I agree, but I would probably put an S tier.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Definitely. And now I think that was my main query. Like, is it gonna be okay, or is it gonna be kind of like really mid and just like a cash in? And I guess like why has there been no more Cowboy Bebop stuff? I was trying to think about this. Is it just like it's just because it's only popular? Maybe this movie I think only made like 3 million at the box office.
Yeah, but anime movies never used to do good, right?
Apart from unless they were Ghibli, right?
Well, even then, if you look up the box office, it's not like dramatic. Well, again, that's just like domestic Japanese markets aren't that big. Because if you look up like the best Ghibli movie, it's probably like 200 million gross max, right? That would probably be my guess.
Yeah, but like this one is like this worldwide box office 1.2 million. So most of it in Japan. International gross is. Then again, like they're not gonna have a wide-reaching one, but like
no, not at all. And it probably made a lot of because it's like still the 2000s, so it probably made a lot of its money off DVDs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find like any budget for Cowboy a movie. Sorry, I didn't.
I have no idea what Japanese animated movies cost to make.
Box office is 30 million here, but yeah, I don't know what it said. People was guessing on Reddit it's 50 million.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty.
That's crazy. I mean, like that's the thing. Like that maybe it just didn't do well. So like as a franchise, it doesn't have the power.
Well, the team just broke up, and Watanabe didn't want to do it, or something like that.
Yeah, but I just think it's interesting that it only came back for Netflix, and I was wondering if that's because it was like a Western thing. It's like the live actions are very Western.
Well, yeah, it had like a reputation. Plus, it was like the dub was already really popular, and they already, I assume, probably on Netflix, like they got the rights to the animated show. It did really well in their internal rankings or something, and then they were like, "Well, we want to invest some money in anime live action production, and we already own the rights to this one." Yeah.
Huh. I guess they did Death Note, which didn't go well. Yeah, I don't know.
That movie's okay. I kind of like that Death Note movie, in fact.
Oh, I thought was it a movie? I thought it was a TV show.
No, it was there was a movie back in like 2017 or something, I think.
Okay.
True.
Huh.
Are we gonna do episode 23 now?
Yeah, let's do Brain Scratch.
Brain Scratch. This is another one that was kind of adapted into a live action episode, though they changed it completely. And Spike was the one that was in the thingy, and he hung out with Julia. It was weird. I didn't remember us commenting on TV this much, is my first note here. This is like a kind of meta episode, and it kind of immediately dates itself, because if they replaced TV in this episode with the internet, I feel like it would still be very resonant, but because it's still TV, it like feels a little dated.
What they say about TV is exactly what I'd say about the internet. So like, even though it was like, oh, this ages itself, I'm kind of like,
it's still predicting things kind of correctly.
Yeah, it's still correct. You know, it still works. It's also weird because it's like meant to be the future, right? So,
yeah. So I guess we're supposed to do our little recaps. This one is about the TV cult that turns out is run by a comatose like little boy,
who's around Ed's age, which is a cute little thing at the end when Ed goes to the hospital and like leaves a gift for him or whatever. And he's like a hacker guy and she's like a hacker girl, and it's like, oh, a little parallel here. But Faye ends up trying to get the bounty on her own, and she gets like mind wiped or something, and then Spike's got to go save her. You remember this fucking episode?
Yeah.
I think it's one of the more trippy episodes. It kind of does remind me of Lane a little bit, even though they both came out the same year, so they probably have some common influential father. But I like the monologue that ends it. It's like still trippy at the end. I don't know. This one was pretty good.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of it. I think this is like for me. I'd probably say it's like a beta episode, but my favorite part about it was Ein like deprogramming thing, and then Jet thinking that was Ed doing it. But essentially Ein was hacking to everything, and then Ed and Jet going to as the father-daughter combination.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was so funny, and then the fact that the officer actually cried out over it.
Yeah,
I thought it was so funny.
It's a good gag.
Yeah, it was a great gag. Which then sets up for the next episode, which I completely forgot about. But like, I was like, oh, the father.
True. Like, the actual father will be back.
Yeah.
This is the father person. We're not up to that yet, Jarkey Bacon. Calm down. Also, Big Shot gets cancelled this episode, as Jarkey Bacon pointed out. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They were just actors the whole time. They got cancelled live on air, and the girl gets really mad and drops her accent, and it's really funny.
So funny. It's like I'm gonna talk to my. Yeah, I thought it was so funny.
She says she's going to talk to her agent. Turns out she's going to marry her agent, Jarkey Bacon, as we find out in the second last episode.
Oh, that was her. I thought I was referring to Julia, but that was another. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Referring to who? You cut out.
Julia.
No. Because the black guy is in the airport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, what? And his mum's like, oh, what happened to your co-star? And she's like, oh, she's going to marry her agent or something, which is like a famous like trope of like when stars, like women stars turn 28 and they're too old for movies. They like marry their agent because they're still really pretty. And the agent will take them and they can't really make money anywhere else. So that's kind of sad, but okay.
I didn't get that reference at all. I'm so glad you explained that because I was trying to understand like why. Yeah.
Why he would know about Julia?
Yeah, it's this is
why Julia would marry.
Yeah, and who that guy was and why anyway. Yeah, and why Faye was like, I recognize those people.
Yeah, this is like legitimately one of the coolest things in Cowboy Bebop. How like their stories wrap up, especially how he is like completely different in the airport. He's like this kind like son, and he's not being funny anymore, and he's like looking after his mom and stuff. It's like really cool.
I need to listen.
His voice is like great.
I need to listen quickly to them. Like I'm gonna. Oh, actually, is it broken? No. Okay, cool.
Are you listening to them getting cancelled?
I'm gonna listen to them getting cancelled. So
okay.
It's kind of important.
The But it's true. It is very funny.
This here is the very last broadcast of Big Shot. We're cancelled, Shucks Hardy. Happy trails and all that. What? Our ratings suck, so they're taking us off the air.
Oh, yeah! My agent will have something to say about this!
Okay, I was trying to remember if his accent broke, but his didn't, and he's just black. He's not Mexican.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But
funny.
in the airport scene, it does. So it's funny that he's like more professional in the moment of getting cancelled. Maybe that reflects the gender politics they're commenting on because she realizes that she's fucked now that this is cancelled, but he thinks he can get another job because there's no age to age out men.
Yeah, and he's and he's like, oh, our ratings suck, and he knew about it, but she didn't. It's just funny.
So true. Like, why is there a TV show about bounty hunters? Especially when they're like, oh, 3 million bounty heads. What y'all doing? So there's only a potential audience of 3 million people, and they're not all watching, and it's like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah, and I think also it's funny because it's just like in the movie they just have nothing to show to like, please call in. And then no one calls in because no one wants to give the information if they have any, right?
Cowboy babes and the tissues or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was great.
And then they have like the wide shot of them without. But I actually love Big Shot way more now. I didn't realize that detail. Oh, that's so good. Great.
I love the little wrap up things in the last episodes.
And the thing is, Cowboy Bebop generally doesn't do that. Like it doesn't have recurring characters about the main cast, so that actually hits hard. Oh wow.
And it is like a thing about moving on. Like their show has come to an end. Like it's like the snapshot
Everything
in time. The
comes to an
the Bebop crew.
Yeah.
They remembered that they all remembered the great Big Shot show. But you know, these bounty hunters of the next generation, they're not going to remember the Bebop show. Not the Bebop show, but the Big Shot show. It's not going to be good. It's going to be different. Time moves on. I think I like this one a little bit more than you, but
yeah,
put it high B, low A.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because I like the television monologues and stuff like that, the trippy stuff for the fake old man. That was all cool.
That's true. Yeah. Okay,
well, now
next one is
Jarkey
Hard
Bacon.
Luck Woman.
We're on the heavy hitters here, Jarkey Bacon.
Yeah, we're starting.
Three of the best episodes of television ever, some might say. But Hard Luck Women is of course, we are introduced to, unbeknownst to us, we're introduced to Ed's father and
that was
McIntyre or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going around mapping the Earth, and Faye is looking at her memory, her VHS again, and she realizes that it's on Earth, and Ed thinks he can identify it. That's a she, Jarkey Bacon. And they end up on Earth.
Gag. It's like, are you my son or are you my daughter? I can't remember.
Son, daughter, yes.
No, but the dad doesn't remember.
Great. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was doing his voice. That was me pretending to be him just now, not correcting you. My goodness, can you not tell by my brilliant acting? I should be a dub.
It's just because the phone mic wasn't good enough. That's the only reason why.
There we go. That's a good point. I guess we should talk about this one independent of the other ones. Best episode in the whole show, Jarkey Bacon? ?
If you ask me the first time I watched it, probably yes. This time,
oh my goodness,
this time it was really good. But for some reason, I think I've listened to Kumi too many times, or maybe because I watched it like straight after the movie, or something like that. Like
interesting.
It happened
You're
too
also
quick.
roughing.
I wasn't able to seep in the emotion for long enough. You know, it's like, oh wait, it's already happening. Oh, that's crazy, and they just go, and then
It is funny because on rewatches of certain things, I know exactly like that feeling of like you get there and it's like, oh, oh shit, am I ready? Like this is supposed to be a big moment, and then it doesn't entirely hit. But Call Me is always hit for me.
I love it.
I didn't feel the same.
The eating eggs was good, of course. I was like, oh, that's where they get the eggs from. I forget because the guy's eating it earlier, and that kind of because I forgot so much about the episode. I think I remembered. I forgot there's just like a random Christian nun, and then she's like, let's pray.
Yes.
I'm hungry. Let's eat. Thank you. Amen.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Oh, it is funny because we see like some people do just still live on Earth. Not just them, but there's like a different area where they go and talk to people that's like underneath a thing where like even if an asteroid hit, it wouldn't like destroy their thing, like because it's kind of underground, which is cool. And also the old lady is just living there with her grandkids.
Yeah.
So there's some sort of life still going on Earth. It's just not the best. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in this episode. Also, the dad, he eats the eggs by poking a hole in the top, and then drinking it. So he definitely gets some eggshells. Oh my god, if you ever get eggshells in your mouth and you accidentally nearly swallow them, Jarkey Bacon, it's one of the worst feelings in the universe.
Crunchy eggshells.
Yuck. Getting stuck in the back of your throat. Oh, it's the worst pain of all time, Jarkey. It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's doing it by choice, and he beats the fuck out of that bitch spy.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. Okay, this is what I was going to talk about in the movie. I was like, this is the first person I remember going toe-to-toe in combat with Spike, this Vincent guy. He's really strong. And then then Ed's dad just mogs this guy completely.
You're going to beat the fuck out of this Vincent pussy. True, it's great.
It's funny, because it was like, oh, this is Ed's dad, of course. And then I love how they reunite and stuff, and he doesn't
jumps down.
It's like Ed jumps down, and her dad doesn't know if I think he was calling her Alfonso or something like that. Like he didn't even remember her name, didn't remember her gender, but he knew how to catch her and spin her around. That's perfect. It's like in the ways that matter to Ed, he remembers. So that's kind of cute. Even though he was
they're like kindred spirits.
Yeah, exactly. This makes sense where this comes from. And then the 50 million Wulongs was funny. Ed playing playing everybody this episode. When it did hit slightly, was Ed putting the windmill out, but then the classic bye bye Bebop writing.
Yeah,
and then,
that's crazy, Jarkey Bacon. It's crazy.
at the end, where like Ed like finally talks normally, and it's like, no, you can't come with me. And then like Iron really wants to,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, let's go. You know, it's like, oh, like it's real when Ed's like not being like all funny and goofy. It's like,
Yeah.
it does hit different. Yeah, it just didn't hit as hard
When
the
the
first
pinwheel
time.
is on the hood and it's twirling, and that's the final.
Yeah, it's so
And
good.
goodbye. See you later, space cowgirl. Someday,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, that's crazy. And I think also with like,
Oh, and there's a moment, Jarkey Bacon, where Ein is going to leave. No, he's making his mind up whether or not to chase Ed or to stay in the Bebop, and he turns around and he wolfs one time at the Bebop and then turns around and runs after Ed. I'm fucking crying.
yeah, so good. And then also I think what is like
And Jarkey Bacon, Spike is just staring at it. He doesn't even tell Judd, he's just looking at the bike, and even Spike is sad. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I won't scream this time, I promise.
I don't think, as I said in this final bunch of episodes, I said Ed is like my favorite. Like I think I got it so much more that like Ed leaving just kind of sucks for everybody because Ed's annoying, but actually Ed's like so useful and actually really good. Like Ed's completely dynamic within this like cynical crew.
A lot of levity.
And I think what also is like. Also, like, what hit me the first time as well is like, oh, Faye, you finally found something from your past life, and she literally just runs away. I thought that was, like, kind of crazy, where, like, Faye finally meets someone, and she could learn stuff about her past, and she just doesn't.
But she sort of can't, and she's, like, weirded out that this person is old. There's, like, a million reasons why you can read into why she doesn't, like, want to talk to that woman.
Yeah. And I love how
finally.
I love how it's just done. I think that's what I love about. I talked about earlier, where it's just like she doesn't say anything, she doesn't explain anything, she just runs away, and you're left to like, you just fill in the gaps, and you just assume the most complexity in there. You know, like a smart writer's thing, right?
And her like drawing her old room and stuff is cute and in the ground, and like her running up and the reveal that it's all gone. Oh my goodness. But true, when she's running up, that's when the song starts, and you know they play that whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
my
I was
goodness.
like, I'm not ready yet. Like, oh come on, I don't know why. I just was like, man, this episode's because episodes are so fast and it just hits you, and then they're eating the eggs. Yeah. I'm just like, oh my word, that's crazy. They finally had some protein.
True. It's also oh, because I made I think you might have seen this video because I think it's an old channel video. When I made a video about this scene, so I watched it a bunch of times, so I always know that when Faye starts running up that it's about to happen. So I'm getting myself ready before it happens, like 10 seconds before. So I'm very familiar with the layout of the last bit of the episode. There's an interesting thing. I think we talked about this a little bit last time, where about the because you said like you think listening to it too much might have not like worked against it.
Maybe. I just think I don't know. I just wasn't in the headspace, but I still really liked it.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Because I feel the opposite of like, and I think I explained this about Come Susa Todd, which is the song in the end of Evangelion, where it's like I've listened to it so much that it has bebop memories, and then it also has general other memories. Where Call Me is obviously like a very easy like lapsed person song, right? Where it's like, oh, you haven't talked to this person or thought about this person in a long time. You're listening to Call Me, thinking about it. And it's like very like. It's just a ballad. What else can you say? Yeah. So it's got like that emotion. It's got the resonance of that. So you're going to think about that. You're also going to think about the show. Call them, James Ruffin. Yeah. Call them. I don't know. All the lyrics are resonant like that, I think. But yeah, it's just like it's really cool. It's like a bunch of. So I think I honestly think the outside or listening to it outside of it adds to the experience almost, because it's almost to a point where you forget that it's from like a show, and it really is cool. And I actually, when I made my video about You Season 5 on the second channel, it was a big thing because I really like it when shows use songs that you already have baggage with.
Used Call Me.
No.
Oh, sorry.
They used like a Billie Eilish song that I liked. Much more on brand. And it like adds to the moment a lot. So yeah, especially when it's like the original. Like I always like the the recognizable songs. I think it adds to moments generally.
Yeah. Okay. Just look, reading the lyrics and actually getting it about someone not calling back. That has like unlocked a completely different feeling for me with this, because I've actually kind of experienced this recently, where I wouldn't disclose the person, but there was basically a friend I made online, basically, and then I was actually not necessarily to go see them, but I was going to be in the area, you know.
I knew he was no good. This fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah. So let's say like, yeah, I like say I'm like going like I was like, oh, let me go to Sydney to you know, see if there's any like job opportunities or kind of see the city, all this stuff, right? And then just imagine this is Elite RE, right? And then like also kind of organizing on the side, like, oh, for one day while I'm here, let's meet up. You know, we've chatted a bit, we've like texted a lot, and I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to see you. And then basically, then like 2 weeks before I go, I said, is this plan okay? Are we still okay to meet up? And then they just don't respond. Then like when I get there, I then text them, they don't respond. And then I'm just like, what's happening? And like they just dropped off the face of the earth. And now I'm just like, call me, let me know that you're all right. And Kyle, this week, like they messaged back and like apologized and stuff, but said like, yeah, like, but they actually they basically it left me with a state where I was like, oh, I hope like basically you don't know, because it's online person. You're like, I don't know if you're alive. I don't know if like something's tragic's happened in your family. I know like because we're mates online, like I can't offer much like emotional condolence because I can't be there with you physically and all this stuff, you know, like if something's bad has happened. And I'm just like sitting there like not knowing, and then I text like mutual friends. I'm like, have you heard from this person? No. And this person like wiped themselves off the internet entirely. I'm like, I have no clue what's happening. And anyway, they messaged me back recently. I was like, oh my god, as long as you're alive, that's all I cared about, you know. Like, and then it says, call me, let me know it's all right, you know. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, just like you saying that now, like I kind of unlocked like that kind of feeling for me. Cause I'm just like, man, like I didn't. It's like if you don't want to be friends or whatever, that's fine. I just want to know that you're not dead, basically. So
the actually, Jarkey Bacon, your whole story doesn't apply, because this song is about they're never going to call you back, and you're sad about that.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
You know,
it was about.
No, that's not entirely true.
If we had this conversation last week, I literally would have been like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh my goodness.
So
last week, this would have been definitively the best episode.
Yeah.
Now, Jarkey Bacon, I have a task for you. All right,
Okay,
you ready for this?
Yeah.
I got a piss. Can you vamp? Can you fill in the people for about a minute and a half?
Should I move on to I'm gonna die. The next episodes?
All right, hold on. Let us finish this one.
Right?
We're number one. No, actually, I don't know. I really like Ballad of the Fallen Angels, and I think both of these next two episodes. It's probably number one, I think.
This one's your number one.
That's what we think. I think so. But you, Jarkey Bacon, can start. Now, I will still be able to hear you because I'll just mute myself and take you with me as I pee Jarkey Bacon. It's going to be very intimate. It's going to be epic. Now, you're going to tell us all about the real folk blues, part one. This is crazy.
I don't know if I put Hard Luck Women as my favorite, but yeah. Okay, you go.
That's
you
true.
go.
You do have to comment that. All right, so I'm going to speak after I press this button to see if I'm muted, all right? So you're going to tell me if you hear me after this.
I am not hearing you.
Wait, I didn't press it. Why isn't it pressing? I can't even mute myself. I'm useless. Hold on. Nope, that's not the right button.
I'll do you a favor, and I can go to Discord and deafen myself.
No, Jarkey Bacon. No, I did it. I did it correctly. And if you deafen yourself, then I can't hear you, right? But I want to be able to hear you to comment.
You can just ping me.
All right, we're ready. We're good. We're good.
Okay, so actually, just filling out before we talk about real folk blues, this episode was written by Mikio Yokotei. So it was interesting because they were on Rurouni Kenshin. They had, they're on a lot of stuff. Hang on, what's the most recent thing they've worked on? I don't recognize anything. Campfire Cooking in Another World with my absurd skill level. Shy Hero Assassin's Princess. Man, this looks like utter slop. How do you write this episode and then work on all this garbage? What else has she worked on? Hang on. She's a screenwriter. Come on, IMDb. Come on, give us a bit of hope here. It's crazy. Like, how do you write this and then yeah, okay. What? I'm seeing nothing of Cool of the Night. Is that the quote unquote vibes anime? So she must be like, okay, I guess she's adapting stuff. Happy Sugar Life. Oh, she did Naruto. Bleach. Okay, so she's been on just a ton of stuff. Don't really know what that means. She did 8 episodes. She wrote 8 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. That's insane. So she wrote Stray Dog Strikes, so episode 2.
So it's way better than Cowboy
Heavy
Bebop.
Metal Queen. She wrote Waltz for Venus. Okay. Toys in the Attic. She wrote Toys in the Attic. Ballad of the Fallen Angel. She wrote that. Black Dog Serenade. Mushroom Samba, and then Hard Luck Woman. That's crazy. And then she writes. She's currently. Oh. I think I disconnected. Hello, I'm back. I disconnected.
Don't worry, Jarkey Bacon. I just couldn't hear you, and it's my headphones fucked up, so I just had to disconnect and reconnect. So we're all good now.
All right, but cool. Banging. Yeah. Anyway, I was just talking about like.
Do you reckon
it's interesting talking about these people and being like, yeah, like, are they good or like what happened? Because she's on so much random stuff.
Well,
like,
it's probably just the case that you write whatever like people will pay you to write, right? That's probably a big aspect too.
True.
So it's like maybe it's the best episode of eating in this. I can't remember what you called it, but it was one of those eating in the campfire something show. Maybe it's the
maybe it is
best
really
episode
good,
of that show.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Okay,
Real folk blues.
Kiko Nobumoto, who did the final 2, she worked on Cowboy Bebop, Wolf's Rain, Shampoo, Space Dandy Cow. So she just works with mainly Shinichiro Watanabe. I think it's a she, right?
But those sound like pretty good.
Oh no,
she
died in 2021, but she also was an advisor, a posthumous release, worked on Lazarus. Oh, that's so sad. Tokyo Godfathers also was on anime films. Oh my word, this person is actually goated. This person who did wrote the final 2 episodes. Yeah, so she wrote screenplay for Cowboy Bebop and created Wolf's Rain. That's nuts. I need to watch Wolf's Rain. Man, what a storied career.
I think isn't that literally a show about a wolf girl? I think it is, right?
I can't tell.
I've heard people talk about Wolf's Rain a lot.
Yeah, I have.
But true. Is there anything cooler? Oh no, I was reading from the part 2 notes. My goodness, Alito. I mean, Jarkey Bacon. My first note here about Real Folk Blues.
Yeah. Okay.
Sin was. Oh wait, go ahead, Bacon.
Anything about Real Folk Blues? I was hyping it up with this writer who's unfortunately
part 1 specifically. Sin was helping Julia is something I have written down here, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But interesting. I didn't remember that, and that's.
And Sin was the one in the Jupiter Jazz, right?
No, that was his brother who died in Jupiter Jazz.
Okay. Yeah.
And he dies in this one.
Yes.
These nice little brothers.
Which I thought, did we know they were brothers beforehand?
No. No, I think we only saw that one, and then we just started to see this one.
I thought that was kind of funny, to be honest. But yeah, it's like
I don't know.
Another character. I'm the brother of the other guy. I look exactly the same. It's like they got halfway through.
They take advantage of families or something.
Yeah, it was almost like they probably forgot it in the writing room. It was like, guys, we killed him. I was like, oh crap, we've already animated him. Say it's his brother.
Perhaps my next note is Spike and Julia relationship / chemistry. Julia doesn't say much. She knows who Faye is, though. These are 2 very interesting details.
Yes.
So the first one is that she is somewhat keeping up with what Spike is doing, which is interesting because it's kind of a. Now, Jarkey Bacon, you have never seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire, right?
No, I'm not.
Well, there's an incredible moment in the middle of this movie, Jarkey Bacon. It's not really a spoiler because this movie doesn't really have a plot.
I don't really care.
But there's like a. Shut up, Jarkey Bacon. This is the greatest movie of all time. You should care deeply. There's a point in this movie. Now, this isn't a wholly original point. It's just executed really well. Where you are following one girl trying to paint as another girl. So basically, you are following a character, and another character is the subject of the painting and of the movie, because you're kind of just watching her to try and figure out what her deal is. And at some point, they've started to become friends, and there's like a relationship there. You're not just looking at her anymore; you're interacting with her. And there's a point where the painter starts to like, kind of sarcastically, but like disrobes the girl, not literally, but she like points out a bunch of little behaviors that she's noticed, basically like, oh, whenever you lie, you do this with your nose, and whenever you lie, you put your finger behind your ear, and whenever you're worried, you do this. And as she says that, she's doing all these things, and it's like, aha, we got you, silly girl. But then in a big moment of mirroring, the other girl does the exact same thing back, and the girl and you, because you've been positioned with this girl the whole time, are shocked that she has also, basically they've both been watching each other, and this whole time, because you've been so focused on your own perspective, you've only thought that this was a one-way thing, where actually it's a mirror. So this is kind of reminds me of that, where like we have been following Spike, like following the trail of Julia the whole episode, the whole series, being like, oh, Julia is just this off in the distance woman that's running away from Spike. What's she doing? She doesn't care. All this stuff. She's like too cool. She's like not even a person, because she's such like a character in a distance that we've never met. But the reveal here, which I completely had forgotten until this rewatch, that she was maybe looking for Spike / keeping up with Spike also, because they came close to seeing each other in Jupiter Jazz, where Gren is like, oh, Julia was here like a week ago or something. And it's possible that that Gren at some point like called her in the middle of the plot to be like, yeah, I met that Spike guy. It's crazy. That's like crazy to me, John.
Yeah,
I was like, that's so cool.
That's cool.
Because she knows who Faye is. That's like not even, that's like a specific detail of everything about this is so cool. So there's that aspect. There's the fact that her and Faye just immediately team up, and they like have this cool understanding between each other. That's super cool. And it's another thing where they're also like investigating each other to figure out how much each other know about it. And then there's also the aspect that Julia and Spike don't seem to have that much chemistry at all. They don't really have any time to react or interact with each other at all when they meet each other and stuff like that. And even this is like pointed out in the script, because Faye is like, because Jet is like, obviously he's losing his best friend. He realizes he's going to commit suicide because of this girl. He asks Faye, this is in the next episode, but fuck it. He asks Faye like, oh, what's she like? And then like Faye's just like, oh, she's just like a normal girl. It's like this crazy like subversion or like anticlimax. It's also like
your typical
that's like
action,
how life is.
Action beauty or whatever.
Yeah. Anything to say about any of that, Jarkey Bacon? I
thought that was interesting, because I totally felt similar things when she knew, when Julian knew about Faye. I was like, huh, what? How does she know? And I love your like suggestion, like on like you can kind of maybe figure it out. There's multiple points that she could have, and like the suggestion, like she's keeping it up. I thought Anne coming back as well. Annie, I thought was great.
Even though her voice actress is terrible, but we can look past them.
Well, you know what? I liked her more in this episode.
She was much better in this one.
I didn't have any qualms this time.
She only had like 2 lines,
but that's all right.
Yeah,
we trust her.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, why would you like? But also like, why? I guess they could have run away. I don't know. It was weird. Julia had just like not much personality at all, which maybe because we didn't know her yet. You know, and there's some certain things like the car scene, and like she's quite stoic and knowing stuff.
Yeah, like, she's like cool.
Yeah, she was kind of like she was kind of like Lexi or whatever. Alexa.
Yeah, kind of Electra.
Electra. There it is. Sorry, not Alexa.
But yeah, it's because her like, I feel like this is like something you. Like, if your friend, like, tells you about, like, their girlfriend or something, or, like, you meet somebody, like, and they're really hung up on somebody, like, you build them up in your head to be like, this must be the most charismatic, bombastic person ever. But then you just meet them and they're, like, a completely normal person. That's, like, wholly unremarkable.
Yeah.
It's, like, people, like, build up. Well, either you are passing judgment way too soon because you've built it up too much in your head, or people like fall for like plain people because probably from the outside everybody's rather plain. So I like the commentary of like because it does kind of make sense that the girl Spike would be like very protected and not too outward. especially if you compare it to like Faye, who is very outward, who he seems to not really be interested in at all. It's kind of like a good little mishmash, I guess.
Yeah. I also thought, okay, can I just say something that's off topic? But every single time they play that scene of Vicious and Spike, like back in the day when they have each other's back and Spike looks over his shoulder and gives like a smile, I mean, that's the most, you know, when we say we didn't see like Spike's more whimsical side, I was like, that's the most goofy, dumb smile ever. And I kind of hate it. It kind of doesn't look like Spike.
I kind of like it. But, yeah, because it is a bit of a like, it's weird. The flashes are very interesting. Like how it seems now, this is something they expand upon in the live action show, but it definitely seems like Vicious and Julia were a thing, and Spike like totally home wrecked, and then but like Spike is the good guy to us, which is like really interesting. Because there's the scene of Julia and Vicious in bed, and then there's like the scene of Spike getting injured and then like collapsing and Julia taking him in, and it's like, what is the order of these? Like, is that how they met? Like, is that how Spike met Vicious? Was that he was like in a fight or something, or, like unrelated to them? He collapses, Julia brings him in, and Vicious and Julia are already dating, and Julia and Vicious comes over and they're nursing him back to health, and then they became friends? Or is it like maybe Vicious is talking about his girlfriend Julia one time, or this? What the fuck was that, Jarkey Bacon?
What?
I think it was a car. It kind of sounded like gunshots, but I'm going to choose to believe that wasn't it. But that was some crazy noise I just heard. I guess you didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Well, if I die, I'll be talking about Cowboy Bebop and the great Spike as I do it.
Yes, and as Spike dies, you shall too. See you, Space Cowboy.
It just happened again, but more distant. So I think it was definitely a car or a motor or something.
I mean, was it like a bike with like the thing that goes pop, pop, pop?
Like and it's going again.
All right, well, stay in your garage or whatever. Don't look.
I'm in the car. The laptop's closed. It's just my little phone light. They won't see me. They won't come to get me. What was I saying? Something genius, I'm sure.
About how Spike got to meet Julia and how like the home wrecking might have panned out.
Oh yeah, the flashing images and how like they, it's interesting. Because it's never like we never get an extended flashback of any sort. Now in the live action, you get a whole episode, Jarkey Bacon. It's a little weird. This show's a little weird, Jarkey Bacon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know the implications of all of this, and it is really all implied. So, I don't know. Julia, what a young lady. She's not around for too long. It is crazy how quickly she dies in the second episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was like the episode itself was like it was fun. We already talked about the small scene with like the big shot guy. I guess Jet gets shot, and then the doctor's like, "I was just feeding a few stray cats." I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's the doctor from the second episode.
Yes, I was like, dude, I must have seen this doctor before. He must have been about, but yeah.
Because he tells he like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had gotten his face changed from him, and then he punched him. There was a bunch of little things like that where characters were coming back, because there was that guy, the big shot guys, and I feel like there was one other character that was like wrapped up a little bit here, and I was like, oh, this is not the vibe I thought Cowboy Bebop went for, where it was like
wrapping up stuff.
Yeah, it might even we might even see like the police guy that Jet's always talking to one more time in this or something. I think it is. I think he does show up and say like, oh, they're killing everybody that was even associated with the guys that lost the coup or something. Which is something we haven't talked about, where Vicious gets arrested, and then he says the line, Jarkey Bacon.
He says, "A snake's poison happens long after."
No. That one's pretty cool, but it's, "And you will shed tears of scarlet." And then he cuts his fucking eyes, Jarkey Bacon.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah. That was later though. But yeah, like, because I was just saying, like, it was like, "A snake cannot eat a dragon," and then his response.
But that's from
way later. Yeah, his response way later is like, "All I need is to get my fangs in to kill you. I don't need to eat."
Yeah, Yeah. It strikes later or whatever.
I also liked the first scene in the bar where like they're drinking and like Jet's complaining about women and kids leaving, and then both of them notice that like the syndicate are here, and they both duck, and the barman just gets done. That's big sedge.
Yeah. There was a guy in the movie on the train that was like that, where it was just like a bystander that got totally killed.
Oh, he got absolutely smoked. Yeah, that was pretty violent.
Yeah, that was a little crazy.
Also, okay, I didn't pay too much attention, but like these like stories, the story that Jet says, and then Spike's like,
Yeah,
my
the
story,
story
and
that
then he's
Spike
like, I
says.
hate that story, and then Spike does it back to him. I feel like I
It's
got.
such a great.
Explain it.
Wait, what are you gonna say?
I expect the second time was like him and Julia almost, but then when like Spike's like, I hate that story, I almost think that is this like Jet criticizing? Is this Spike criticizing?
Well, no, I think
Jet
it's
or something?
self-deprecating.
Yeah.
And first of all, the first story is the Kilimanjaro story is maybe the best scene in all of Cowboy Bebop, where Waltz for ZZ's playing, and I really love the delivery of the monologue there. I think that's really great. But the second one, the cat one, I think is like Spike is thinking about this story. It's a very interesting thing because I don't know how much of this is intentional, like this resonance is intentional, because it's like so pinpoint. But like, I feel like when like a chapter is ending your life, you usually like connect it to some weird story, and you like realize that the story was like prophetic and like deep and like true. So I think in this moment, Spike is thinking of this story that he's heard when he was like a kid or something. And then he's realizing that like it applies quite literally to his life. And he's like, man, I always used to think that story was lame as a kid, but it's like him accepting that this thing he thought was lame is what he's become. And he says it with like a smile and stuff as he heads off to die, basically.
What about Jet's story? Does that mean anything? I didn't really pay too much attention.
Well, Jet's story was just that like it's like the dream thing, right? Because you're wading through a big like valley and you see the mountain ahead and you think you're about to get there and be free or whatever. But then the helicopter comes in, picks you up, and you realize that you had like literally an impossible length still to go. But here the helicopter is to take you out of it. So it's like just Spike is in the dream of like he can't tell if this is reality or whatever. He's like haunted in this mist of life. He doesn't know where to go or what to do. But like the helicopter is basically going to pick him up. He's going to just die and exit. And there's like relief in that moment, I think, which is interesting. It's also very, I don't know. I remember in New Zealand for one part, I was like in a very valley, like it was actually like an old volcano or something, but it was a massive valley thing. And I remember thinking about this speech here and being like, because I've never really been in nature like that before, but like it was a rather remote place we were in, and I was like if I didn't get driven out here and she wasn't going to drive us back, like we are fucked. There is no like civilization for a long way here, and I don't know how to kill an animal and eat it, and like I don't know. I always remember thinking about this moment and being like, even if this environment here around us would seem entirely impossible to overcome. But with like one man-made invention, one switch of perspective by being taken up in a helicopter, you could be out in like 30 seconds. And you would look down and you would see the path you would have had to travel if you had traveled on foot. And it would like be overwhelming. And it would put like the perspective shift there is interesting. I guess I'm less confident in this read of the Spike situation, actually. The first Jet story. Because it is Jet telling it. But it is Jet telling it to Spike to try and get him. But also, Jet tells him to go there. Whereas later, he's like kind of mad that he's gone, which is interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering because I couldn't quite remember Jet's reaction. I was wondering if I know Jet will be sad that he's going to his death, but he's kind of already accepted it, if that makes sense. But maybe
then he's mad after that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
But then he goes back to accepting it.
Yeah, well, exactly because he hasn't confronted what he's thinking about, like it. You know, like he hasn't confronted the fact that he's like, oh, he's kind of given up, and he's like, why did I give up? And then he gives up again. You know.
Yeah. And he's also like he has the moment where he, where he thinks he's dead, but then Spike like shows up again, and he's like half asleep, and he wakes up and he sees Spike, and he's really happy.
Yeah.
But then he realizes that Spike's going out again, and this time it is to die. And the one line he has, we're talking about both of them in tandem here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the one line he has of like, was it for the girl? And then like the music cue hits, and it's like, oh, like, because again, that's like another like. I guess this is also an aspect that I hadn't really thought about here, but Cowboy Bebop, in a lot of deep things, you like it becomes really reductive for a second, but that like hits the deep spot where it's like, was it for the girl? And the answer is kind of yes and kind of no,
Yeah.
But the fact that it is at all yes, and that it's so basic, and it's like the meaning of life almost, or the reason to like kill yourself is like
For the
profound in
woman.
that aspect of
Yeah.
like why do you like if you like a random vox pop on the street and it's like why do men live or whatever, and it's like for the girl or whatever, and he walks off and he's all cool or something weird like that, and it's like, well, that's stupid and lame. But then to get back to this point with Spike and for you to realize that kind of is it. And I guess it's more resonant because it probably is. Like, if you're a man watching this, more likely than not, the driving force behind your life is probably a girl. And not even in the dramatic sense of like, man, these women, they're going to kill me or something, like a spurred lover. But literally, if you are married and have a family, like most of the things you're going to do in your life, and probably like the happiest moment of your life and the key motivator of most of the aspects of your life is going to be your family, because that's what most people dedicate most of their lives to. It's probably going to resonate more there too.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me. Okay, this is a bit of a tangent, but it reminds me of. There's. I'm not sure if you've seen like Drive to Survive, which is like the F1. I'm not sure if in Australia.
You cut out a little bit.
Is F1 really big in Australia at the moment? Formula One.
The movie or the actual.
The actual sport.
Sport. It might be. I'm completely disconnected though.
Cool. Okay. Well, there's this guy, basically, one of the races, he has a massive crash and he's like engulfed in fire and he somehow gets out, like before his suit melts and stuff. And when he said, I was like, oh, I just thought of my kids and I had to get out there. And he doesn't mention his wife. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. It's like so often it's like, I feel like it is like, oh, it's for the kids. And I don't blame him for just like being like, the kids need me because my wife will be okay. But the kids need me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bit sad, almost like the wife isn't the priority as well. But I guess
it is true. I imagine this is like a crazy feeling now. Jarkey Bacon doesn't have any kids, as far as I'm aware.
No,
but there is like an aspect where, and it must be mutual and it must be fascinating. And there are like Madman monologues kind of about this, where it's like. You love this person, like let's say you get married before you have kids, not to say that's the only way you do it, but this is like the number one person in your life. Like your wife probably immediately becomes more important to you than like your siblings or your parents probably.
Or your best mates.
And then it's like yeah. And then like you both have a kid. And it's like immediately you both divert the number one status in your life to the kid. And I imagine that must be a very interesting feeling to try and navigate, because you're almost obliged to care about the kid more. And it is that thing of like, well, if we're in some sort of crazy situation where two of us have got to die, like, well, we both have to sacrifice ourselves for the kid. And I assume that's an innate like emotional response, but it's also like a logical response in a sense. And that would be interesting. Like, you could frame that as like a betrayal almost. And it's like a mutual betrayal, but it's also like evolutionary in a sense. It's a very. How do we get to this topic, Joe? What's going on? Oh, you're talking about the topic, the car guy. But that is interesting.
Yeah.
What that feels like. It's probably not conscience, and it's probably easy because most of the time you would just group them all together as your family. Because if you think about any show or whatever, it's like, I got to do this stuff for my family. I'm sure Walter White says that. I'm sure whoever in The Wire says that. Tony Soprano says that all the time. So it's easy to group them together.
Most
in that
of them don't
sense.
have family in The Wire, actually. But
interesting.
Yeah.
That actually is interesting. But yeah, I guess there's always like well, you can get another wife, but like, well, like there is a ways for you to lose your wife that isn't her dying. Whereas there's not really a way for you to lose your kids without them dying, or your bitch wife taking them away from you, or something like that. It's like,
that's why I go back to the young ones, because they don't take away my kids from me.
True. We'll start again, have a new family, says Jet, even though he never had one. Well, in the live action show he did.
Yeah.
It is an interesting hierarchy. I guess you could apply this to Spike, right? Like immediately the Bebop family comes second to Julia.
True.
But
yeah, I just wanted to make a point. Like this scene where Faye's about to go confront Spike about Julia and be like, I saw her. He like it's like a cool direction because he like knows she's there. And like, how does he know she's there? And then it shows that her reflection is in his glass.
Yeah.
So that's what
that was really good.
yeah, it's like some cool stuff like that. I just want to say that. I'm now scrolling through episode 26.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check. Let me make sure I did all my notes. Mount Kilimanjaro waltz for ZZ, as if they were searching frantically for proof that they were alive. That was a cute line. That's in that monologue there. There's a bunch of them. I nearly wrote the whole thing out, but I was like, oh, I'll just write down some lines.
Oh yeah,
that is
yeah.
cool.
I liked when Faye and Jet were mad together about Spike, and then they all both turn around. I didn't actually quite like that from Jet, that Jet got angry, because I feel like he should. I thought he was gonna be calm and close and understand. But anyway, I thought it was still kind of cool. Like they both couldn't admit to each other they liked Spike a lot. I guess I kind of assume Jet's more mature than he is, and then he isn't.
Yeah, because he can be very like, and it is sort of like he is outwardly emotional, but internally he is much more understanding. It's just sort of like an outburst.
Yeah, he kind of he doesn't really. Yeah. Oh, this is another thing we didn't talk about with the movie on. Like how like the Native Americans just revive Spike completely. It is a funny thing that like he's got this connection with the same Native American throughout the whole show.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was interesting as well. And I've really noticed that it was on Mars, and I get what you mean. Like it feels empty as well.
Hold on, you cut out a little bit at the end. What did you say?
Oh, like the world feeling empty compared to the movie. The movie's way more full. But that you can understand that's like a budget reason. They don't want to spend so long animating all these people. I thought it was interesting when Judy was dying. They only focused on Spike's real eye. I thought it was some interesting cinematography.
Yeah, because also you don't hear her, and she says it was all a dream or whatever.
Oh, is that what she says? Like, do people know that's actually what she says?
Oh yeah, it's revealed like later in the episode.
Oh, is that what? How? When? Sorry.
At some point, Spike remembers it. It might be as he's dying, where they go back to it, and it's the reflection of her in his eye, and she says, was it all a dream, or is it a dream, or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, because we didn't point out that the what's the tagline for are you living in the real world was the tagline for the movie.
Yeah.
Which is like, because it's like, are you living in the past or is the real world or whatever? And with obviously the last one is you'll carry this weight or whatever, which is cool.
Which then just makes me think I need to go see the old Digibro video again.
True, the video called that. Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I just got to the part where like it was revealed like, oh, was it for the girl? And then he doesn't respond, and you just see like, I love how Jet's like he's not scratching his head, but you can see his head basically in his hands.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
his
so good.
His like rubbing of his head, the little adjustments. It's like
he gets it, but it's like unbelievable. Like I totally get what you're saying. It's like it's such a basic reason to do, and he's just like, I actually can't believe you. Like,
yeah, because he got over his ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. So it's like the fact that Spike can't do it is also interesting from that angle.
There's something so special about some of these ending moments in Cowboy Bebop where it is like the triple resonant thing, where it's almost impossible that it's intentional, but the fact that it's tapped into something that I assume is so resonant for a lot of people is like powerful in itself, because there is like like when you think about like the most emotional moments in your like life, like when somebody's dying or something, like there is, now this is like just the stages of grief or whatever, but there is always like an acceptance angle where it's like, oh, like this such and such is like, they've been told they've only got so much time to live, and now it's actually the time. And it's like you freaking out and you think about it a lot. And then usually like the last few days or the last few hours or something, you get like calm, and it's like that acceptance stage. But I feel like the behavior when you get to that stage is always like really interesting, of like, it's like frantic, but it's like not. And that like the Jet like rubbing of his head like that is very much like that stage of like behavior where I don't know, there's something so special about like
I've seen that gesture done before loads of times.
Yeah,
because it's not done a lot in anime. It's like, wow, that hits. You know, you're like, I've not seen that.
It's such a little like detail. The But it's not even just it's like specifically how it's done, and like afterwards he like rubs his forehead or maybe that's before and then he does it. And it's just like
he goes up and then goes down, then like rubs his foot, and then he kind of reveals it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something like specific about like I've noticed. It's not the exact same thing that I would have noticed in a moment like this, but it's like the same sort of like tapping in of like, and it's not as simple as it just being him accepting it. It's like a little bit more. And I feel like a lot of the moments towards the end of this are like that. I don't know. I guess it's hard to explain or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that we get the Faye moment, obviously.
I mean, I don't have a lot to say, but yeah, it is like when I forgot she like shoots it. I know she shot the ship like once, but I didn't. It's like, man, she is going ham, you know.
Yeah, it's the most outwardly emotional she is. The most outwardly, like she's basically begging Spike to not abandon her. Which is it's very unfair because they're usually so stoic around each other. And it is like these are the last two scenes we get with both of them. Like both Jet and Faye. So it's like it's a very like sad note to leave Faye on forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and so Faye clearly has a crush on Spike, right? But then Spike doesn't reciprocate.
Maybe because I usually don't read it as that way. It's just like, but you definitely could read into it that way. I guess.
It feels a bit weird where you're like, oh man, this guy's so cool that he's got the girl that everybody as the audience clearly wants, but he rejects it and goes for his real true love.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Like it goes does his duty, you know,
just to die. Yeah, but it's
like I'm so cool, I'm gonna die instead of have a happy life.
Yeah.
It's like men will do everything as to avoid going to therapy, kind of.
Kinda, yeah. But it is because that was something that was actually brought up in the movie that I realized was like more an aspect of Spike's character that resonates here too, where it's like he is very much like duty bound, but he's duty bound to like his own impulses of like vengeance. Like he goes back after Vincent for no reason other than like he lost last time and he wants to win. And he's kind of like petty like that, even though outwardly he's not.
He's a kindred soul, and it talks about that with like the chess game earlier, where he just is based on instinct.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's the same with Vicious. Like Vicious killed Julia basically, so now he's gonna go fuck him up.
I just assumed it's just the type loose ends basically.
Yeah, kind of. So it's like this is the last.
They kind of realize that like they have to die with each other basically. I guess.
Yeah. Because Vicious is very much basically ready to die too. It's not like he's like laughing that he's won or something, and then Spike comes in and takes him out or something. They're both ready for it. Yeah. There's another awesome detail here where as Spike's going up, Sin, or I think his name is Sin, is like, oh, we were waiting for you to come back and lead the syndicate, and it's like something you've never even conceived.
I didn't even. Yeah, second time watching, I completely forgot. It's like, what a stupid idea.
You forget that he's like a syndicate guy, but then you're also like, man, you're like so disconnected from the Spike we know. But then again, it's like the snapshot thing of like, is Spike the majority of his life? Like, is that a crazy thing to think the Spike that we have never seen, but they have only seen would do?
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't really care about that, but it's just an interesting like detail and like. This person has his own thoughts here too, and it's like a completely different. Like it's fun. It's fun to just like speculate or think about.
Yeah.
Then I got Cat Story. Julia dies so quickly. Oh, is there anything cool than no OP in the last episode? True, it just opens on like a brief shot that says Cowboy Bebop, and then it goes straight into Julia and Spike in the cemetery. One of them's a fake. I'm going to find out if I'm alive. Oh, what a line, Jarkey Bacon. What a line. Oh, and Faye actually cries afterwards, which was something I didn't remember at all. I just remembered her shooting. But then Spike like walks out and we get like a brief flash of the Bebop for the last time and she's like crying. What a girl. Crying over nothing.
Yeah. And Jet's just cleaning the Bebop. Like
Yeah,
you've
he's
definitely
like
been there where
rushing,
where your mind is somewhere else, but you just need to do something to like do it.
like
But
you got to eat the egg to keep your mind off of it.
it was like the opposite. Like he's clearly thinking about Spike, but he just has to do something. He can't just sit there doing it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like
Wait, isn't that the same as the egg thing?
not exactly, because like the egg's like there to distract you. This is to like get the energy out. I don't know. It's like slightly different.
Oh
like,
yeah, okay,
like,
I see what you mean.
You're still thinking about it, but you're not occupying your mind. You're just occupying your body to kind of do something. Like you're going back to something comfortable that you want to do, that you need to do to like help like know what's gonna happen. Basically,
yeah. Because it's there is like a period where I feel like this is another like it has to be when like somebody's dying, but there's a period where it's like I remember thinking this way when I was like 8 and we put down like our dog, but I didn't go. But I knew that like for the next hour he's still gonna be alive, so I have to like think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like I got to do something to like distract myself, because once they're dead, then it's like you can move on like to a different stage of grief, I guess, where it's not like you can go and actually do something. Like maybe if I run down to the vet real fast and grab the dog and we can save it or something. So it's like Jet's like, oh, like I could go in my spaceship right now, but it's not a good idea. So let me just distract myself. And then once it's like confirmed he's dead, I can like think about it without the caveat of like, oh, can I still do something here, or can I go and see them one last time, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. But that's all my notes, Jarkey Bacon. These 2 episodes obviously go on an S tier.
Yeah, I think. To be honest, though, I don't think these would be my favorite. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think these. Like, I don't feel like more strongly about these episodes, and in a way, like you talking about that, I love all the extra details. But in a way, I'm just also like, dude, I just love it when the crew is together, and hanging out.
that is true. That is,
but yeah, happy to put them in.
I really like the speeches. I think both of them are really good.
Yeah. I also probably didn't help that I was kind of rushing to get them done. So.
Yeah. I was saying, Jarkey Bacon, where are you? And he said, I got one more episode. Leave me alone.
Yeah. And we did just talk for 4 hours.
Oh my god. There's also
you've got to work tomorrow as well.
True, I do have to be up in about 5 and a bit hours, but that's okay. I've been going to sleep at like 4 a.m. anyway, Jarkey Bacon. So there's also the final song at the end, which is Blue, which is a cool song. We should probably mention
It's good. It's very good.
It's got the chanting at the beginning, and then it's the same girl that sings Yoko Kanno, who does most of it, but also sings Real Folk Blues. But also Real Folk Blues plays throughout the last sequence, of course. Who can forget?
So good.
Oh, my mother just stuck her head out the door to see if I was still in here, Jarkey Bacon. That's pretty funny.
Mother is out and about.
Yes, because I just saw the fucking light come on. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I am getting shot, Jarkey Bacon. But no. Yeah.
She should watch Cowboy Bebop. She'd love it.
Perhaps. She might have unironically watched live action stuff. She watches a bunch of Netflix stuff all the time.
Oh, funny.
That would be funny. She probably forgot about it because it was 4 years ago. But
all
true.
right.
Cowboy Bebop. What a time.
There we go. I don't think I have much more to say. It's so weird. We kind of get all our main points out the way early. But yeah.
Yeah, how it always goes, I guess. So was this really 4 fucking hours?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is.
Didn't feel that long. Okay. Well, I guess we're doing Steins Gate next. Is this where we announce that stuff?
I think so.
We got our ranking.
Yeah. Come back next time for Steins Gate.
Possibly. We'll probably do it.
Fast or slower?
Who knows? My idea is probably 12 episodes, 12 episodes, 12 episodes, 12 episodes. But then we've also got an OVA and a movie somewhere in there. So we'll have to figure all that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do 0 as well. I'll see. But I'll definitely do...
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
I'll definitely watch it afterwards. But
yeah,
if we want to discuss it, we want to discuss it. We're also supposed to do Group Evangelion. So who knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Jarkey Bacon could always drop out of Evangelion because, he doesn't like it very much. And, then I can brainwash Mia into really liking it if there's no dissenting voices in the call,
Fair.
But no, Jarkey Bacon might have to be there. We'll see.
I'll be a hater.
Always hating. My goodness. But anyway.
We'll see you guys next time if anybody's actually down this far. Odds on anybody reaches us. Comment. Comments.
It's Cowboy Bebop. I'm sure somebody's still listening.
Okay. Comment in the comments. Kyle, waltz for ZZ if you got to this point. There you go.
Waltz for ZZ. My goodness. Well, we'll hit them with the outro. We'll maybe see you next time. Support links in the description below. Jarkey Bacon, get ready to press it. Thanks.